The leadership of CYO. So I've seen it from a lot of different angles. And I would say that I don't know that you can really fully appreciate it until you see the eyes of your own children, the eyes of your grandchildren, and the opportunities that are afforded them through CYO. The organization, 1939, CYO Camp Rancho Fumasa in 1946, and since then, CYO has been on a fast track.
I think what makes CYO for the Archdiocese of Indianapolis unique is that we have 8 sports for boys, 8 sports for girls. We also offer year-round camp opportunities as well as enrichment activities. I've learned that only a handful of CYOs across the country actually offer as many things we do. I believe what makes us stand out really is our commitment to our mission. Our number one job, we believe, across all of CYO is to help the young people we serve get to heaven. And as we think about it, is there really anything more significant we could do than that?
We have a pretty unique thing here, and you realize that when you go on with your life and engage with people from around the country. What we've built with our CYO is unique and really the envy of a lot of other peer organizations.
I was at a wedding. He was telling me how with his kids, he's just shaking his head. He's just like, oh my gosh, I use so much of what I learned at camp to redirect my kids in activities, to be centered on my kids when they're talking to me. Stuff he says I learned at camp. And then he went on to say this. He works in Washington, D.C. in politics, and he said, Kevin, he kind of leaned in, he said, like, I use those same skills when I talk to congressmen too. So in that way, I look at that, it's like, look at that. We're really changing the world. CYO Camp is affecting the world in places outside of the beautiful 297 acres that we have here at CYO Camp.
I'm always a big advocate for CYO sports. I know I had a great time playing those sports, and I think it's one of the most pure forms of extracurricular activities in a grade school level. I mean, I think people get into it for the right reasons. I think coaches coach for the right reasons for the kids, and kids are playing to have fun, have a good time. And I implore people to volunteer as well, not just have your kids play the sports, but volunteer to coach and even volunteer to ref. I know there's a shortage of refs out there.
And yes, winning's important, but it's about building your character. It's about growing in virtue. It's about leading with your faith first. And that's why I'm so passionate about CYO, because I think that it really teaches us and forces us to keep our priorities in order. It's not win at all costs. It's about things like getting to heaven first, about being a good teammate, doing the right thing, growing in virtue. And that's the stuff that really matters in life.
I think the most important thing that participants take away from the CYO programs is the experience of being loved and cared for by other Christian adults. Kids need that. Kids need to know they're valued. And our CYO leaders do a good job of caring for and loving the kids whom they serve. Otherwise, they wouldn't be putting in the time.
We teach our staff to live like St. John Bosco, to really play with the kids and to learn through play to be Christ-like in all that they do.
As a family, we went to church every week, so they had a pretty strong faith life growing up. But I think, saying prayers before practice, after practice, games, etc., being able to pray with teammates, they benefited from. You just can't do that in other venues and other leagues that you play in.
I would say our number one job as coaches or as parents is to get our kids to heaven. And what better way than to help your kid grow in faith and get closer to God and closer to Jesus than through sports? I think kids love sports. I love sports. It's not always the most exciting thing for a 10-year-old boy to go sit in mass for an hour, but you can be out here at practice and you're praying and you're learning about virtues and you're growing in your faith and your community together. And I think that's why, to me, that's the most important thing, and the thing that differentiates CYO from just your normal kind of public school, youth sports program.
I do it because of the experience I had and the experience that I know that others are going to have, and that's going to influence their lives the way it has influenced mine.
All these things that we want them to be armed with as they go from being young Catholic boys and girls to becoming great Catholic men and women, and eventually on to becoming saints. Just a great opportunity for them to live out those traits, those ideals, and practice them.
At CYO Camp, one of our core values is being inclusive. Our inclusive core value leads us in all of our programming. This is important because it welcomes all different types of people, no matter what their abilities are, their faith, their race, their socioeconomic background, or simply who they are as a person. We strive to ensure that everyone feels welcomed, included, and valued at CYO Camp.
In a world where, quite candidly, sometimes it's difficult to have our kids stay engaged in faith, CYO is one way to do it, and it's a way that if you do give, it really helps and makes an impact.
Number is staggering, how many people. You think of all the generations that have come through CYO sports. The problem now is with rising costs, we all feel it. We know there's things get more pricey every day. We need to bridge the gap between what our affordable fees for playing sports and for camp. We need to make sure that we bridge that gap so that everybody who wants to go can go to camp or to play sports.
I think it's very important for others to support CYO because CYO serves such a diverse population of kids. And a lot of those kids do not come from affluent families with lots of means. So the contributions people provide to CYO enables many more people to participate and afford to participate, therefore giving more children an opportunity to enjoy the values that CYO and CYO Camp provides.
Thank you for watching this video about our CYO story. On behalf of all of us at CYO and CYO Camp, please know how much your kindness and generosity is appreciated. We truly could not carry out our mission of helping the young people we serve get to heaven without your support. Please prayerfully consider partnering with us once again. Your donation is appreciated more than you know. May God bless you always for your generosity. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Roncalli High School as we bring you the CYO Football Cadet AA Division Championship game. Our first game of the afternoon will be Christ the King, the Tigers, taking on the St. Maria Goretti Fighting Angels. Troy Naragowski along with my color analyst, who, by the way, just came back from a wedding, Jarrett Lewis. It wasn't your wedding, but it was a wedding.
No, and it was a fun wedding, and it was a good night, to say the least, but now we're here, we're focused, we're ready for the task at hand, and that's watching some good youth league football. We're super excited to be here at Roncalli.
And we are grateful to be here as well. When you talk about these two teams, this is a mix of 8th and 7th graders. St. Maria Goretti is the team in white, and they'll have the football first for this AA championship matchup, and again, they'll start it at the 40-yard line. They'll stack the receivers to the near side, and an opening run already. That's going to be a first down carry and a nice run for the Fighting Angels right out of the chute. And on the carry, that was Aiden Horn, the quarterback, to lead the way.
8th grader is Aiden Horn. You can see right away, first play of the game, they're keeping him involved, keeping him active. He seems like a tremendous athlete, can do it both with his arm and his legs.
Yeah, empty backfield. He's going to take it himself as he gets to the outside. Another nice gain, a missed tackle, 45, and very close to another first down, brought down at the 40-yard line.
Nice gain at the right side.
Boy, it leaves him a lot of running room on that side when you stack the 4 receivers on the left.
And now the wide side of the field is where the 4 receivers are at. They're in the same formation now, 3 straight plays. They may run the same exact play to the wide side of the field.
So again, 4 stack left and hash mark right. This time they'll throw it out in the flat, ball caught, 40, 35, 30, and finally brought down at the 29-yard line. So the pass play works effectively to Keegan Bill. He's a 8th grader, and the march continues.
I don't think Christ the King has enough defenders on that side of the field. It's a funky formation. You don't see it very often, but they're sticking with it. 4th straight play, 4 receivers to this left side.
Yeah, there's only 2, and you speak 2 on this side of the field, so if they can get the pass out there again, plenty of blockers ahead. As the quarterback Horn looking back at the head coach, Brian Lynn, calling the plays on the sideline there for St. Maria Goretti. The Fighting Angels on the drive again. Low throw, but caught there again by Bill, and he's going to be brought down. A short gain this time, defended better by Christ the King.
We saw in the pregame warm-ups this team running through their formations, and they were running more normal-looking sets with 2 receivers out to both sides, left and right. They didn't show off what exactly they were going to do, which is this 4-receiver bunched-up look. And you can see this team gets up to the line quickly, so Horn has his option to look over to the sideline if they want to change the play.
This time Bill will be in motion and a collision, and read that play well as the pass will fall incomplete and both players are down. They were head on top of each other. And the one player still down for Christ the King.
It was read pretty well. The defensive end, first of all, he tried to get his hands up there, and we'll check to see who the cornerback was who read it even better and nearly came away with the interception, but right now he's still down on the turf.
Well, shake it up as well, even though we saw Keegan Bill get up. He is over on the sidelines being attended to by the coaches for St. Maria Goretti as he took a hard hit. That was well read. If he steps maybe just 1 second earlier, he might have himself an interception there. But that's Ben Parr, who is up. As you see, he will limp off the field, but I think he's going to be okay. Not a whole lot of players on the sidelines here for this Christ the King team, so depth might be an issue here today.
Yeah, plenty more players at the use for St. Maria Goretti. Much deeper sideline. So, yeah, like you said, there's only about 5 or 6 players on this sideline for Christ the King that can be used as substitutes.
You know, and I'm not sure if Ben Parr twisted an ankle, if he stepped on the turf wrong, and they're going to set him down on the bench, or if maybe he went helmet to helmet on that play. But now it's going to be 3rd down and about 9, and a handoff, big hole up the middle, and near the 21-yard line. On the carry, Max Lyons. He is a 7th grader, and a nice hole in that offensive line, doing a nice job as well.
Real tall 7th grader, real tall for a running back, lengthy, skinny, and now they're in this normal-looking set. They have a tight end to the right.
2 receivers split wide left, and again, they're running up the middle inside the 20. As that ball by Lyons carried to the 19-yard line. And it will be very close to a 1st down, I do believe. Let's see if they're going to get a measurement right here. The sideline marker says 4th down, but again, that's really, really close. And we'll get our first measurement of the day. It's a Sunday afternoon. We'll have 2 games here on IndianaSRN. Each game is 8-minute quarters. And about a 10-minute halftime between the first and second halves. And, boy, it's a beautiful day, though. I know that you were wishing you brought a jacket, but you're going to warm up here knowing you're young, you can handle it. But it's a nice day today.
It felt a little chilly. They get the stop. Christ the King does. Good stand on the defense for Christ the King, and after a pretty promising-looking drive offensively by the Fighting Angels, they get stopped right at the 20.
So nice job, and again, we'll see Christ the King take over the Tigers. With the football for the first time here today, Parker Scott is the quarterback. He'll wear number 17. And we'll see what they'll bring to the table on offense in their first possession of the afternoon. Reed Smith split wide to the left. The only wide out in the lineup right now, 2 in the backfield, and the work out of the shotgun formation, and a run up the middle, and a nice run, nearly 10 yards on the carry. Good blocking up front as well. So that's going to be Parker Scott on the carry. So we'll see it's a gain of about 9, so it'll be 2nd down and 1.
Both quarterbacks pretty tall guys on each side. Scott for Christ the King, Horn, the 8th grader for the Fighting Angels, and both present a nice ability to run the football.
2 tight end formation. The tight end on the left is Quinn O'Neill, number 37. Shotgun formation, 2 setbacks to the left of the quarterback, Scott. He'll carry it that way, but good defense brought about by St. Maria Goretti, and they really flooded that side. There were several players there in on the tackle, including, looked like maybe Leo Cano was in there for St. Maria Goretti. So good start defensively after a big gain the first time, but it'll be 3rd down at about 1.
Scott limited to just 1 yard in the carry. They're showing you what they're going to do, basically. They have the 2 guys in the backfield alongside of them to either the left or to the right. Right now they're starting off to the left.
By the way, that last tackle, actually, Jake Cernowski was there for the Fighting Angels. And this a run up the middle, and it should be good enough for a first down. And look like the quarterback keeper again, Parker Scott, doing it all here early for Christ the King.
Christ the King has no problem telling you exactly where they're going to go with the football. They are confident in the guys that they have up front to create holes. Also the two running backs back there with Scott to lead the way and eventually burst something open.
By the way, Harrison Odom, number 11, now in for Christ the King. So a first down, football again at the 34-yard line. First possession for Christ the King here this afternoon. And again, Odom will be in a quarterback, and the handoff, nothing there. Good defensive surge, and the first one in there, number 32, Scott Timmerman, to help stop the pursuit of the run, and then he got help from several teammates.
Ryan James blew right through there also. He's a 7th grader wearing number 88. He was initially in there and kind of made his presence known in that backfield, slowing down the running back, limiting him to no gain. Looks like Christ the King wanted to start off with, they had that pre-planned couple of plays running the football with Scott, but now our usual quarterback's back there in Harrison Odom.
Reed Smith, the lone setback. And the handoff will go to Smith. Not a whole lot there as he's driven down around the 37, maybe 38-yard line before he's brought down there. So it'll be third down and long. They'll have to get to near the 44 for the first down. Benjamin Tilker coming in the lineup now for Christ the King. The wind not quite as bad as it was yesterday, but right now the wind is blowing right at Christ the King as they move left to right. Yesterday, if you were playing any kind of football or other sports, it was one fun day to be out in it. So big third down. Man in motion from left to right. They'll throw, and it's going to be caught. Making the catch is Parker Scott, but he got driven back, hit immediately. He might get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's good coverage, again, by the Fighting Angels.
Really good coverage. Aiden Horn is there playing both ways as the quarterback, and in the secondary came crashing down hard. That was the first read for Odom, trying to hook up with Scott, who was the motion man, but it was well read defensively by the Fighting Angels.
So fourth down, Tigers will have to get rid of the football. McAllister will come in to punt it away. And this should give the Fighting Angels really good field position. Will Harrington coming on a little bit late there on special teams for the Tigers. And they'll put a man in motion, and this kick is a wobbly kick into the wind, and it's going to take a nice bounce, though, for the Tigers. And it'll be down at around the 37-yard line. So the second possession coming up for the Fighting Angels. They had a really nice drive going the first time, and then it stalled defensively, though. The Tigers did a nice job. We're going to mark that football right at the 39-yard line. We're at 1 minute right now remaining in this opening period. Still no score in this AA Cadet Division Championship football game here at Roncalli High School. See what the Fighting Angels have in store this time. Aiden Horn, tall, lanky quarterback, will take the snap. He's going to take it himself over the right side, spins to the outside, hit it about the 42 and brought down there. Reed Smith makes the tackle for the Tigers.
Great pursuit by Reed Smith, and Odom had to maneuver around a couple of different guys. He's pretty good with his footwork, pretty good vision, knows where the hole is, and has good anticipation, but Smith had a long way to go to track him down and limit him to, looks like about a 2.5 yard gain.
I think they're going to let this opening period run out, and they will do so. Each team with the football, neither team could put points on the board. No score after one. Back here at Roncalli High School, want to remind you, if you're watching out there, you can contact us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Already Tony Green, Jack Schmitz, along with Gary Vigran and Jennifer Pricer, all watching here this afternoon. This Cadet AA Division Championship game. Thanks for watching, and again, let us know where you might be watching from. Second down. Period number 2 ready to go here at Roncalli High School. Fighting Angels had that opening drive, an impressive drive that stalled deep in Christ the King territory. Double receiver split each side, hash mark to the right. They'll look to throw. Here comes the pressure and a sack. Christ the King able to get in and get the first sack of the football game here this afternoon, and a nice job by Declan McAllister.
McAllister came swooping through, and full speed ahead was Cole Lungsford, also coming off the edge. He's at the top of the line. He came bursting through. Odom was forced to step up, and there was McAllister to clean it all up.
Receivers stacked to each side. Here's a big third down play. They'll reset one of the receivers to the near side. Near sack again. Ball thrown, caught. 45. It'll be shy of the first down. On the reception, that was Nolan Bird. But you're still now about 4 yards shy of a first down.
Offense is going to stay out there. Lungsford again. Just so much explosiveness off of the line. Odom immediately has to check in on him and where he's at.
Tigers using a 4-man front, and they're going to quick punt this one. And it'll land and take a bounce as the Fighting Angels try to get field position this time, but Christ the King lets that one roll, and it takes a Tigers bounce. They'll have it first down and 10.
It took about an 8-yard Tigers bounce. That was impressive.
Well, you have to like the way that Christ the King's defense adjusted after that very nice opening drive by the Fighting Angels, and they stopped them, and they did it again, and now they get the football back here in the second quarter. An opportunity at the 38-yard line. What will the Tigers have in store this time? Parker Scott, one of the two receivers to the near side. First down and 10. Again, the quarterback will be number 11, Harrison Odom. The handoff, this will be Reed Smith across the 40, out to about the 42-yard line, depending on the spot of the football.
Handoff to Reed Smith, number 28 for the nice gain. Tackle made by number 28.
Smith has gotten a few carries early in this one, as we'll see Xavier Crotty come back in now for the Tigers. So they'll call it second down after a gain of 3. Cale Prizer will be one of the two receivers now to the right, along with Parker Scott, two receivers to the near side and a lone setback. Second down, handoff, run over the right side, and a nice hole for Reed Smith. He's going to get very close to the first down.
Nice hole opened up by the right side of that offensive line, but also Smith hits the hole hard. He doesn't wait around. He doesn't have happy feet. He is just hitting it at full speed. Really tough runner.
Benjamin Tilker back in the lineup now for the Tigers. Neither team has had an opportunity to get into scoring position. Still looking to get into that red zone and work from there. And a quarterback sneak on this one, and it should get the first down very close to midfield. Odom, not a big quarterback, but able to get behind his center to get that first down.
So far, the play selection has been heavily running the football for Christ the King. The Fighting Angels on the other end have thrown it just slightly more, but Odom, I believe, just has the one pass attempt. This running game so far really starting to work, as now they're close to getting into enemy territory.
Max Mondaldi is in the ball game. He'll be the lone receiver to the near side, so empty on the right. And they're going to run the football once again. Reed Smith. That's a tough 3 to 4 yards on that carry. Good defense up front by the Fighting Angels.
Run up the middle by number 28, Reed Smith.
Trent Timmerman, one of those in there, big number 90. So now you're looking at second down and long once again. Wind is at the back right now for the Tigers. Single receiver near side. 2 in the backfield joining the quarterback, Harrison Odom. Odom will hand it off. Breaking a tackle. This will be Parker Scott. Scott at the 40. He's going to get another first down. As the Tigers able to work Scott and Reed Smith as the 2 primary running backs in this offense.
Primary and pretty promising with the way they're running the football. Tell just strong-nosed kids, not afraid to have the football in their hands, which has been a majority of the plays involving those 2 in some capacity.
Looks like Trent Timmerman coming out of the lineup there for St. Maria Goretti. He is headed to the sidelines, and we'll see Thomas Farrell come in and play that defensive end spot on the right side. Tight T formation pretty much right here. The handoff will go to Reed Smith, and Smith brought down at about the 36-yard line. Boy, had 2 tight ends and just 1 wide receiver in the lineup there for the Tigers, and it'll be second down with the football again at the 36-yard line. Eddie Tomlinson will check in the lineup now for Christ the King. Each team has played this game pretty much between the 30-yard line and the 30-yard line here this afternoon in our first championship game of the day. Odom again out of the shotgun with a setback just to his right. Handoff again. It'll be Smith. And Smith tried to bull his way to the 35, so he's going to get a yard out of that carry. Now we're talking about third down and long.
Nicely done by Thomas Farrell, number 28 of St. Maria Goretti. Shed his block, was there to meet the running back right at the line of scrimmage. Big third down here. Looks like it's going to be 2-down territory as you're at the opponent 35. So Christ the King, they're going to run this play, and they'll have another play ready right after this if they don't make it to the sticks.
2 receivers to the right. That'll be Parker Scott in the slot right side. Quinn O'Neill, the single receiver to the near side. Handoff again to Smith, and he's going to be short. Might get another yard out of this one, but not much running room there against the Fighting Angels.
Scott Timmerman and A.J. Belford in on the stop, trying to rip the football away from Smith also. Looks like the Fighting Angels going to call a timeout here with 4th down upcoming.
So a timeout on the field, still no score.
Burtner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment, whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action, or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
Back here at Roncalli High School, as no score at this point, both teams trying to establish that run, but now you're at 4th down and long. I'll be curious to see what the Tigers have in store here. Quarterback Harrison Odom.
One time they tried the pass play. They tried to hook up with Scott running a flat. And they got a pretty bunched up formation here. Looks like double tight ends on both sides.
Yeah, they've really put everybody on the offensive line. And by the way,
Looks
McAllister, McAllister is back there. Keep an eye on him, though. And finally, the Fighting Angels will put a man back, so it will be a quick kick. And it's going to take a bounce inside the 5 and down at about the 3-yard line. Nice job there by Christ the King with McAllister doing the duty on the punting side.
3-yard line.
Boy, this puts you in a deep hole if you're the Fighting Angels now.
Yeah, don't mind the call now. I was actually thinking Christ the King was going to lean more towards going for it, but after a punt like that, you downed it at the 3. for the brand, as they say.
Well, this is now the worst field position for St. Maria Goretti here this afternoon, as they'll bring the offense out. Probably try to establish a little bit of a run right here to give them some breathing room, as that Tigers defense has been stiff the last couple of possessions that the Fighting Angels have had the football. A.J. Belford now to the right side. And they will look to run. It'll be a quarterback keeper by Horn, and boy, he might get back to the line of scrimmage. There just wasn't much there.
Christ the King can really pack the box and try to sell out on the run. Fighting Angels are going to want to get this end zone out of the back of their feet and have some more room to work with, run an open playbook.
By the way, Quinn O'Neill gets credit for that last tackle. We'll take a timeout. Still no score.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
You know, Jared, it was the Tigers who got the timeout there. Second down and long. They must feel if they get this football back, get another stop right here, force it third and long, they might have an opportunity.
And also, with the way the wind is now starting to pick up.
There's some movement over the left side. Got a little bit too anxious. I think they got 77, Cole Lunsford, on the penalty, so that'll give him some breathing room right there. That is, by the way, our first penalty of the afternoon.
And that's what the Fighting Angels are going to want, is a little bit of breathing room, because if you don't pick up this first down and you have to punt in your own end zone.
Horn will hand it off, but there was nothing there for Keegan Bill. Bill might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, and we've got another timeout. The Tigers trying to preserve the final 46 seconds of this second quarter.
I'm Keith Myers, Vice President of IndianaSRN. Thanks for joining us. Do you know IndianaSRN broadcasts 350 games a year? All sorts of sports? Yeah, we do. Hard to believe, isn't it? IndianaSRN loves to put student athletes first on our website. If you're a business out there, we probably could help you too. Contact us at coach@indianasrn.org. Grandma from out of state thanks you. Mom and Dad who can't get to the game thanks you as well. In fact, our athletes watch the games over and over again. Our military has enjoyed the games as well. So sit back and enjoy the game. It's IndianaSRN.
Back here, Roncalli High School, Tigers get the second timeout, and with 46 seconds to go here in the first half of play, they feel if they can get the ball back, they're going to get excellent field position if they can force the Fighting Angels to punt it here after this third down. So Aiden Horn and the offense back out. They'll stack three receivers to his left and one receiver to the near side. Now we're going to see that formation we saw at the beginning of the game. They'll move one more receiver to the left.
Yeah, Christ the King didn't know how to cover it in that first possession, but they may have it figured out a little bit better this time.
Well, they're going to run the football to that side. If they have blockers, then they will. It's out to the 15, the 20, then driven out of bounds. So Aiden Horn went to the side. We had plenty of guys in front of him. He gets the first down and able to stop the clock with 36 seconds to go.
And Horn is super dynamic, super fun to watch, and a really good runner. Extending that play, that looked like that could have gone backwards, almost could have been a safety. but Horn's a hard guy to bring down.
A.J. Belford, the lone receiver to the near side. They'll look to throw. Belford over the middle, dropped it, and he had a catch right there at the 35-yard line, but he turned and saw Will Harrington standing there, and he drops the football.
Nothing really hurt. If you do catch it, that clock is still going to keep on rolling. You have a couple timeouts if you're the Fighting Angels, but that would have been a tough catch and minimal gain.
So 2nd down and 10, and they'll look to throw again. Same play, but this time he overthrows him. Belford ran the same exact pattern. In fact, he was wide open, but Horn threw it behind him. In fact, it was even a little bit high.
Yeah, it's there because the cornerback for Christ the King is playing well off. That's actually their quarterback, Harrison Odom. He's playing 12 to 15 yards off, trying to prevent the big play. The middle of the field is wide open there. It's a good route to run, just can't connect.
So now you're looking at 3rd down and 10. Quarterback keeper. Horn finds nothing. That run defense has been very good for the Tigers here today, and they stuffed him yet one more time. Cole Lunsford, one of the first ones in there for the Tigers, but those guys up front are playing well.
And now Christ the King can burn their 3rd and final timeout. They get some help from St. Maria Goretti throwing those 2 incompletions to stop the clock. So you don't have much time left. You got 21 seconds, but now that it's 4th down, you never know what can happen. You at least get a shot with your offense.
No score first half. Fighting Angels punt the football away. They have good special teams play. Nowhere to go on the return for Reed Smith. Ben Carey gets credit for the tackle on special teams, and with just 13 seconds remaining, the Tigers had hopes of getting the football deep in the Fighting Angels territory, but it didn't work out that way. So now they have the football perhaps for the final time in the first half right at the 50-yard line.
Maybe some trickeration. Maybe go to the bottom of the playbook and at least find yourselves running, get out of bounds, and have another chance at another play, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case.
Nope, they let that first half clock run out, and both teams unable to get their offense rolling here in the first half, and we are scoreless. We'll come back with second half action in just a few moments right here on IndianaSRN.
I've had the opportunity to see CYO in a lot of different ways. Number one, I was a participant, and then later became a parent of participants, and then later became involved in the leadership of CYO. So I've seen it from a lot of different angles. And I would say that I don't know that you can really fully appreciate it until you see the eyes of your own children, the eyes of your grandchildren, and the opportunities that are afforded them through CYO. The organization, 1939, CYO Camp Rancho Masa in 1946, and since then, CYO has been on a fast track.
I think what makes CYO for the Archdiocese of Indianapolis unique is that we have 8 sports for boys, 8 sports for girls. We also offer year-round camp opportunities as well as enrichment activities. I've learned that only a handful of CYOs across the country actually offer as many things we do. I believe what makes us stand out really is our commitment to our mission. Our number one job, we believe, across all of CYO is to help the young people we serve get to heaven. And as we think about it, is there really anything more significant we could do than that?
We have a pretty unique thing here, and you realize that when you go on with your life and engage with people from around the country. What we've built with our CYO is unique and really the envy of a lot of other peer organizations.
I was at a wedding. He was telling me how with his kids, he's just shaking his head. He's just like, oh my gosh, I use so much of what I learned at camp to redirect my kids and activities to be centered on my kids when they're talking to me. Stuff he says I learned at camp. And then he went on to say this. He works in Washington, D.C. in politics, and he said, Kevin, he kind of leaned in. He said, like, I use those same skills when I talk to congressmen too. So in that way, I look at that. It's like, look at that. We're really changing the world. CYO camp is affecting the world in places outside of the beautiful 297 acres that we have here at CYO camp.
I'm always a big advocate for CYO sports. I know I had a great time playing those sports, and I think it's one of the most pure forms of extracurricular activities in a grade school level. I mean, I think people get into it for the right reasons. I think coaches coach for the right reasons for the kids, and kids are playing to have fun, have a good time. And I implore people to volunteer as well, not just have your kids play the sports, but volunteer to coach and even volunteer to ref. I know there's a shortage of refs out there.
And yes, winning's important, but it's about building your character. It's about growing in virtue. It's about leading with your faith first. And that's why I'm so passionate about CYO, because I think that it really teaches us and forces us to keep our priorities in order. It's not win at all costs. It's about things like getting to heaven first, about being a good teammate, doing the right thing, growing in virtue. And that's the stuff that really matters in life.
I think the most important thing that participants take away from the CYO programs is the experience of being loved and cared for by other Christian adults. Kids need that. Kids need to know they're valued. And our CYO leaders do a good job of caring for and loving the kids whom they serve. Otherwise, they wouldn't be putting in the time.
We teach our staff to live like St. John Bosco, to really play with the kids and to learn through play to be Christ-like in all that they do.
As a family, we went to church every week, so they had a pretty strong faith life growing up. But I think, saying prayers before practice, after practice, games, etc., being able to pray with teammates, they benefited from. You just can't do that in other venues and other leagues that you play in.
I would say our number one job as coaches or as parents is to get our kids to heaven. And what better way than to help your kid grow in faith and get closer to God and closer to Jesus than through sports. I think kids love sports. I love sports. It's not always the most exciting thing for a 10-year-old boy to go sit in mass for an hour, but you can be out here at practice and you're praying and you're learning about virtues and you're growing in your faith and your community together. And I think that's why, to me, that's the most important thing, and the thing that differentiates CYO from just your normal kind of public school, youth sports program.
I do it because of the experience I had and the experience that I know that others are going to have, and that's going to influence their lives the way it has influenced mine.
All these things that we want them to be armed with as they go from being young Catholic boys and girls to becoming great Catholic men and women and eventually on to becoming saints. Just a great opportunity for them to live out those traits, those ideals, and practice them.
At CYO Camp, one of our core values is being inclusive. Our inclusive core value leads us in all of our programming. This is important because it welcomes all different types of people, no matter what their abilities are, their faith, their race, their socioeconomic background, or simply who they are as a person. We strive to ensure that everyone feels welcomed, included, and valued at CYO Camp.
In a world where, quite candidly, sometimes it's difficult to have our kids stay engaged in faith, CYO is one way to do it, and it's a way that if you do give, it really helps and makes an impact.
The number is staggering, how many people. You think of all the generations that have come through CYO sports. The problem now is with rising costs, we all feel it. We know there's things get more pricey every day. We need to bridge the gap between what our affordable fees for playing sports and for camp. We need to make sure that we bridge that gap so that everybody who wants to go can go to camp or to play sports.
I think it's very important for others to support CYO because CYO serves such a diverse population of kids. And a lot of those kids do not come from affluent families with lots of means. So the contributions people provide to CYO enables many more people to participate and afford to participate, therefore giving more children an opportunity to enjoy the values that CYO and CYO Camp provides.
Thank you for watching this video about our CYO story. On behalf of all of us at CYO and CYO Camp, please know how much your kindness and generosity is appreciated. We truly could not carry out our mission of helping the young people we serve get to heaven without your support. Please prayerfully consider partnering with us once again. Your donation is appreciated more than you know. May God bless you always for your generosity. Thank you.
Welcome back to Ron Colley High School and Bob Tolley Field. Scoreless at the half between Christ the King and St. Maria Goretti. The coach is here. Troy's taking a little bit of break, but Coach, it's a beautiful Sunday afternoon, first of all, and to experience myself CYO football for the first time, what a treat it is for us at IndianaSRN.
The opportunity came to us last year as we did the finals of the basketball at Cecina High School. Bruce Seifries and his team reached out to us, and we looked if this would fit our schedule. And Sunday afternoon, for the staff that's working for us at IndianaSRN, thank you, because I know that Sunday's our day off normally. But we're seeing good football, and CYO is a great foundation for young men and young women to play athletics, and I've been involved in it since I was 12 years old. And I won't tell you how old I am, but it's been a long time. And what else can you do to bring good stuff? And if you would like to help them out, please check out their website, hit that donate button there, and let's help out CYO, because it's a great minister to do that. I gotta go get my popcorn because Troy was eating it, and I think it's all gone.
It looks pretty good, by the way. I might have to get me a box at some point.
It's very buttery, yes.
Well, that's the way I like it.
Needless to say, Keith should not have given me that box. All right, third quarter action. Tigers will have the football at the 40-yard line. Still no score. See what adjustments are made at the half. Tigers will try to run it. They're going to lose a couple of yards on this carry. Try to go back to Reed Smith.
Yeah, adjustments can be made during halftime, but it appears the defense of the Fighting Angels has still been able to pick things up. Run game has been there for Christ the King, but it's been a very bend and not break defense on both sides for both teams.
Max Lyons gets credit for the tackle. By the way, the popcorn is probably the best. They didn't skimp on the butter, so you might as well get some before you leave.
Okay.
Second down and 11. Single receiver to the near side. See what the Tigers will try to do this time. They're going to run it again, but nowhere to go, and there you go again. Reed Smith brought down by Max Lyons for another loss, and you're talking about third down at about 13.
Yeah, can't go in between the tackles. That's been plugged up, and you can't go outside because you have guys like Lyons who are doing a nice job of setting the edge, not letting anybody of Christ the King get around them. They've pushed him back now on 2 plays for 3 yards.
So now you're looking at third down from the 37-yard line. Neither team has had a offensive play that's really been a big hitter so far today. So 4 wide. 1 in the backfield here for Odom. Big third down play, and they're going to try to run it again. It goes nowhere. Boy, I tell you what, number 32 coming in, Scott Timmerman, to make the stop there, and now it's really 4th and long. They're going to have to punt the football here.
Yeah, Timmerman came flying through untouched. And Fighting Angels were not taken off guard. Even though they spread the field out wide with 4 receivers, they were still noticing that it could easily be another run play.
Keegan Bill is deep. Good punt with the wind. And it'll take a nice bounce as well all the way down to the 13. It's still rolling to about the 12-yard line. So an excellent punt, and now the Fighting Angels will get the football for the first time here in the second half. There is an advantage to having that wind behind you.
Yeah, and it showed there for sure. And now deep in your own side of the field again. This is kind of how the first half ended with St. Maria Goretti, and they were lucky that Horn, using his leg, was able to get them out towards midfield, and Christ the King had no chance of threatening to score before the half. Horn has been super dynamic so far. He has been their go-to guy with the football.
So Horn will empty out the backfield. Man in motion from left to right, and we have stoppage of play. There is a flag down, and looks like this is going to go against the Fighting Angels.
Marker on the field, false start on St. Maria Goretti.
That's only, I believe, the second penalty we have seen today.
Brings up first down and 15.
Not exactly what you want to start off a possession inside your own 10 now.
Yeah, they were down to the, 3-yard line on that one possession. Ended up getting out of it, but still unable to do anything offensively. They'll put a man in motion again and look to throw. A lot of pressure, ball caught, and out to the 20-yard line. Nice play with pressure coming his way as Ethan Stanky will get the reception, and it's going to be shy of a first down by about a yard.
There's a whole lot of traffic on that near sideline. I don't know how Horn fit that football in between the window for Stanky, but a really good connection. Pretty good route combinations, rolling out to his right, and found him running the sideline route.
Well, he's going to have 5 receivers basically in this lineup as well. Empty backfield, flag flies from the far side, and the pass attempt is going to be knocked down. It will be incomplete, but I think this might go against the Fighting Angels again.
Yeah, it came right at the snap, either a legal shift or a legal formation. So they're going to get pushed back 5 more yards. But there again, we've called his name a couple of times for Christ the King. Cole Lungsford is just shot out of a cannon going after the quarterback, and he's had free range to do so, trying to go after Horn.
So you see the penalty being marked off right now. So 2 penalties in this possession will put the football back to the 16-yard line. So we're talking about second down and long. They'll have to get to the 22 for the first down. They put that man in motion twice, and it has cost them 2 penalties in this possession. Hand off over the right side, and again, tough yardage as he is finally brought down. That'll be Max Lyons on the carry. The one thing the Tigers have done well this afternoon is really stuff that run between the tackles. May have given that tackle to Parker Scott, number 17, for Christ the King. So now third down and about 3. High snap brought down, the handoff, and I don't think he's going to get there. As once again the carry by Max Lyons, and you kind of also feel that wind picking up a little bit more here this afternoon. That might be a little bit of a factor in the passing attack.
Some of the snaps have been high, and it's forced Horn to get up on his tippy toes, go reaching for it, and that kind of, it is something real slight, but it does affect how the play could be run. It could slow down the mesh between the quarterback and the running back.
All right, big fourth down. As the Fighting Angels will go ahead and go for it, but there's jumping on the right side. They got Ben Carey, the receiver, jumping a little bit early, so the third penalty on this possession really hurting the Fighting Angels. So instead of fourth down and about 2, they're at fourth down and about 7 now. And now they'll bring the punting unit in to kick this one away. Into the wind. That one will hang up a little bit. Ball received at the 45, running room to the outside at the 30, and then finally drug out of bounds on the near side. Reed Smith on the return, and now the Tigers will have excellent field position, 1st and 10.
Smith had a guy running at him at each angle, and he kind of moved towards one way to get one guy at a bad angle, and then really good footwork, shifting from right to left to get around the edge. That's a pretty good return. This is a huge spot for the defense of the Fighting Angels. Christ the King, most of their possessions have started on their own side of the field. And with the way they've been moving the football, they have a good chance to score here.
So Harrison Odom out of the shotgun. Single set back, and he's going to throw it out into the flat, but nothing there. Another nice defensive play by Max Lyons as he brings Reed Smith down. That's going to be a loss of yards.
Yeah, Lyons was coming in on the rush, coming at Odom, but he kept his eyes up, engaged with the right tackle, and then saw that it was going to be just a quick hitter out to Smith out of the backfield, and he read it perfectly.
Xavier Crotty back in now for the Tigers, so it'll be second down at about 14. 2 minutes remaining here in the third, and again, neither team able to get points on the board to this point. Somebody may break one here eventually. Tigers, again, second down, will try to run it over the right side. It'll be Reed Smith again, gets a nice gain, in fact, past the original line of scrimmage. And it looks like they mark him down at about the 24.
There you go. Get back to your bread and butter with Smith. Pack the box in. You like your chances running the football with Smith. Any type of pass play that Christ the King has tried out has really been either out to the running back out of the backfield or flat patterns. Nothing's really been down the field yet.
Benjamin Tilker coming in with the play now for Christ the King, 3rd and long. They've been in this situation several times here this afternoon. Handoff, big hole up the middle, and it's going to be close to a first down, and Reed Smith just put his head down to get some extra yardage, and he's going to be around the 17.
Smith is already running the football like a high schooler. Just hits the hole as quick as he can. He is not shy about running it in between the tackles, lowering his head if he has to, and getting that extra yards after the contact. He's got a 4th and short.
By the way, that nose of the football just shy of the 16-yard line, so it's going to be 4th down. As Odom continues to work out of the shotgun, they've stacked 2 players on that right side of the offensive line, and I believe that they're going to get a timeout right here. 19 seconds remaining in the third, still no score.
Burtner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action, or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
Sunny afternoon here at Roncalli High School, and this is a big play right now for the Tigers. You're talking about 4th down at about a yard. They get the timeout. They have run it to Reed Smith the last couple of times. I know you're kind of a betting man. You want to go back to him again?
Oh, yeah, for sure. And follow Parker Scott, too, or wherever he's at. He looks like a wingback on the right side of the formation.
Quinn O'Neill in the ball game as the tight end to the left. And now they've taken 2 players to line up to the right side. As you mentioned, on that wing position, and yes, that is the guy they wanted. It was going to be Odom. Got that push from behind by Parker Scott. And let's see if he got the first down. It's going to be really close.
Well, I like the play call. Either follow Scott or just let him push you forward. The much smaller Odom. Did he get enough? It looks to be pretty close.
We may have a measurement, and the official will get a timeout. So this could be a very big call if you're the Tigers trying to keep this offense on the field. Just 14 seconds now remaining here in the third quarter. And we saw earlier in the ball game when St. Maria Goretti had that long drive, it stalled. And then you get it back. The Tigers did not get the first down, and the defense will hold, and they come up just short. That's a huge, huge play right there for the Fighting Angels.
It sure is. Just the way they were able to run the football with Smith looked so promising. Really surprised he actually didn't get it. That's a huge stop. That front line, we've been pretty impressed with how Christ the King's been able to get into the backfield going after Horn, but the front defensive line of the Fighting Angels, they have been stepping things up too.
I don't think they're going to get another play off here in the third, and they will not do so. So 8 minutes gone in the third. We will head to the fourth quarter. Still no score.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Well, now the question will be, can the Fighting Angels ride a little momentum here of what their defense did? They've got a long way to go to try to get some points on the board, and we'll talk about overtime maybe in a little bit. Let's don't get too far ahead of ourselves, but there are some rules to that as well.
Yeah, can the Fighting Angels put together a long-standing drive and get it over into Christ the King territory, which they haven't been able to do so for most of this game? They're back to their usual formation and how they started things.
Horn will take the snap. He's going to throw, and it is short of his intended receiver. There was coverage there, but Ben Carey was the target, but it was right at his ankles.
That one receiver side for the Fighting Angels, they like running those routes over the middle of the field. It's just whether or not Horn can hook up with their receiver and work that middle of the field.
So it'll be 2nd down and 10. A.J. Belford, one of the two players along with Keegan Bill, now switching to the right side. And now two receivers to the near side, empty backfield. 2nd down, high snap, rolling, here comes pressure, got it out to the flat, and did he make the catch? I believe he did at about the 20-yard line. But a short gain, only of about 4 yards.
Really good pressure, forcing Horn to throw that off his back foot.
Number 23, Keegan Bill.
Surprised they were able to get that connection there with the guy that was in his face. It may have been Lungsford, I wasn't quite sure, but it was a pretty good play developing for the Fighting Angels. Just better defense again from Christ the King.
Keegan Bill gets credit for the reception. We've got a timeout, still no score.
I'm Keith Myers, Vice President of IndianaSRN. Thanks for joining us. Do you know IndianaSRN broadcasts 350 games a year? All sorts of sports? Yeah, we do. Hard to believe, isn't it? IndianaSRN loves to put student athletes first on our website. If you're a business out there, we probably could help you too. Contact us at coach@indianasrn.org. Grandma from out of state thanks you. Mom and Dad who can't get to the game thanks you as well. In fact, our athletes watch the games over and over again. Our military has enjoyed the games as well. So sit back and enjoy the game. It's IndianaSRN.
Well, the Fighting Angels get the timeout as we're getting to crunch time. I know we're only a few seconds into this fourth quarter, but every possession is going to be big from here on out. See what Aiden Horn and the Fighting Angels have in store here. Two receivers split wide left, they'll stack there. Two receivers to the right, they'll be stacked there as well. Looks like Keegan Bill is the lone setback, with Horn now bringing the formation in closer to each side. He'll look to throw. Ball to the near side. It's caught. 30, 35, and out of bounds here on the near sideline. It'll be a first down on the reception, Ben Carey, and that's one of the bigger pass plays we've seen all afternoon.
Yeah, it sure is. It looked like Horn knew where he wanted to go with the football and just threw it to where only Carey could get it. There was a DB that was sitting down in the flat, but he threw it more towards the sideline, and Carey was able to, all in one fluid motion, make the catch and make the run down the sideline for a huge pickup.
So first down, put the football at the 40-yard line. Man in motion from left to right. Quarterback rolling, throwing, and overthrows his intended receiver. That was Ethan Stanky, the receiving side of things, but couldn't come up with it. It'll fall incomplete, second down.
Again, Horn is flushed out and forced to move towards his right due to the pressure applied by the D-line of the Tigers. Another ball thrown off his back foot, but still falls incomplete. You're still looking good at 2nd and 10.
So now what will the Fighting Angels have in store here as they have two receivers now to the near side. One of those will be A.J. Belford. Horn, empty backfield, puts a man in motion. Horn will roll to his right, steps up. This one high in the air. It's up for grabs. It's going to be caught inside the 25-yard line. It was Ben Carey, who's been his favorite target of the day. First down and less. I don't see a flag. Yep, I see a flag back at the 41-yard line, and I think we're going to bring it back. Holding against the Fighting Angels. Boy, that one really hurts.
That is a huge sting because that play was about a 30-yard pickup, and that ball hung up in the air almost like a punt from Horn. Luckily that it wasn't intercepted, but the DB just couldn't locate the football. Great catch made by Carey, who's been huge on this drive so far, but now you're pushed back, and now you're not looking pretty at 2nd and 20.
All the way back to the 30. Boy, penalties have really hurt the Fighting Angels here in the second half. And this one none bigger. So now Horn. 2nd down and 20, man in motion, high snap. Horn's going to try to run it himself around the right side. Here comes the pressure, able to get to the sideline as he has run out of bounds there. Well shy the first down. McAllister, one of those there to knock him out of bounds, and we'll put the football at around the 36-yard line.
Horn, for picking up 6 yards, had to run for about 26 of those, just having to go backwards to move forwards. This defensive line of the Tigers is really doing a nice job exploding off the football and getting into the backfield, making it hard for Horn to run north and south.
3rd and long, we have said that quite a bit here this afternoon from really both these teams. They'll stack 4 left on the hash mark. Big 3rd down and long. Horn to throw. Down the middle. It is going to be picked off at the 50-yard line. There will be a return for the Tigers. Harrison Odom there to pick it off, and the first turnover of the ball game favoring the Tigers.
The quarterback picks off his opposing quarterback. Horn just kind of fling that one forward. Not sure who it was intended for. But a mistake made by the Fighting Angels, and now again, Christ the King, can they capitalize on getting this good field position?
You're exactly right. Now, one thing about it is I don't know what kind of kicking game they have, but if you're looking to kick this one into the wind, it's going to be really tough. They've got to get this ball in the end zone if they can. So after the turnover, Harrison Odom gets the interception. Now he brings the offense back out on the field for the Tigers. 1st and 10. Handoff. They'll run the football in a nice hole. That's going to be Reed Smith on the carry. He's been the workhorse here this afternoon.
Made the first guy miss, which could have been a loss behind the line of scrimmage, but instead turns into a 7-yard gain. Reed Smith, I think, has been so far the MVP of this contest.
Yeah, he has certainly delivered here this afternoon. Tilker, the lone receiver to the short side. It will be located hash mark left. Handoff again, looking to get to the outside. He will. To the 20, 15, down to about the 14-yard line. Another nice run by Reed Smith. And now they're finally in the red zone.
Broke this one towards the outside. Smith has been more in between the tackles kind of runner, but he's showing off the speed right there. Immediately, right when he gets the football, it is 100%. It's not just sitting around staying patient. He's hitting the hole, and he's keeping his eyes peeled forward, looking for that hole.
So first down. No bigger possession than this one for the Tigers here this afternoon. Football at the 14-yard line. And guess who's going to get the call again? Smith trying to find a hole. He's going to get a few yards on this one. An extra push will get him very close to the 10-yard line.
Number 28, Reed Smith, area again.
Yeah, don't go away from it. You've gotten down here because of Smith. Now you're just shy of the 10-yard line. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I don't have any doubt at all. They're going to just keep running the football here, try to get this thing into the end zone and really put the pressure back on St. Maria Goretti. Their offense, though, struggling a little bit here in the second half, especially with some big penalties. 4 in the backfield now for Harrison Odom. Odom, hands off, up the middle, big hole. Smith diving to the end zone, touchdown. Reed Smith with the score, and the Tigers on top 6-0.
That is such a good play for how Smith, his running style is, because he's starting back so far behind the line of scrimmage that he gets the football and he's already running at full speed before he gets to the line, and it was just another great hole opened up that offensive line. They've been the MVPs so far also.
Now Odom looking to the sideline. Will they go for 2, or it looks like the T is out there? There's still a man short on special teams, and a little confusion as Braxton Lucas goes back to the offensive line. So this will be Reed Smith attempting the extra point. The bad snap, Smith will pick it up. He will not get to the end zone, so the extra point is no good, but the Tigers get on the board. They lead it 6-0. Well, the late score by Reed Smith, who was the workhorse there for the Tigers, and as you mentioned, he very well could be the most valuable player of this game right now. But we still have 4:26 to go, and now the Fighting Angels will have the football at the 40-yard line. They have got to stay away from the penalties here the remainder of this game. They'll look to throw, far sideline, and over the head of Keegan Bill, and incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10.
A lot of the passes from Horn have been sailing over his receivers. He's really dropping back the angle of the football on his release. That's why it's sailing on him. He's had guys open, and still the DBs, especially on the one receiver side, playing well off the receivers.
Horn's going to keep it himself this time, looking for running room to the outside, breaks a couple of tackles, and then finally knocked out of bounds. And there was Harrison Odom, who came up with that big interception. He'll get credit for the tackle there, but it's going to be third down and about a yard and a half, maybe 2.
Brings up third down and 2 for the Fighting Angels.
More importantly, Horn was able to get out of bounds, stop that clock. But this Tiger defense, they have stepped up several times here today. Trips to the near side. Empty backfield. Horn has shown he has a good arm, just not as accurate as it will be eventually. He'll run it himself, gets the first down into Tiger territory. Brought down there by McAllister, and will put the football very close to that 48-yard line.
Tackle made by number 45, Declan McAllister.
Horn looks to be shaken up. He's had to carry a huge,
First down and 10 for the Fighting Angels,
huge
on the 47-yard
workload
line.
in the second half, especially running the football.
Yeah, he is a little slow getting up, but they need him to stay in this lineup. It's going to be first down and 10, and that clock is going to be a huge concern here for the Fighting Angels. Handoff, and maybe to the line of scrimmage, and that was it. Making the tackle, Quinn O'Neal. Bell on the carry.
Quinn O'Neal.
Yeah, the run game with whether it's been, they've had a couple different guys back there. Keegan Bill, also they've tried Lyons as a running back. Nothing's been able to work in between the tackles.
Second down, little screen pass to the near side. Ball caught by Ben Carey, but he's going to be brought down at around the 46-yard line, so a short gain, and we're third and long. Just over 3 minutes remaining.
For the Fighting Angels.
This defense knows how to fly to the football. You kind of take a quick glance, use the eye test. Much bigger players, it appears, on the side of the Fighting Angels, but it's been faster play defensively. Gain tackles. Like we said, flying to the football, limiting the Fighting Angels to short pickups.
We've got a timeout. I think there was some confusion there for St. Maria Goretti in their offensive formation. We'll take a timeout as well. 6-0. Tigers on top.
Burtner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment, whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action, or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
Big third down and 7 here for the Fighting Angels. Could be the ball game. It definitely is going to be 2-down territory right here. Aiden Horn will have an empty backfield once we get this timeout completed. They'll stack 4 left, single receiver to the right side. That'll be Belford. He has single coverage on that side as well. They'll look to throw. Ball out in the flat. Caught. And it's going to be shy of a first down to about the 42-yard line. Quick hitter there to Keegan Bill. But now it's going to be fourth down in about 2.5, 3 yards. They'll mark it back to the 42.
Another one of those plays that looks like it has really good potential, but the Tigers know how to fly to the football, and now this could be the game right here.
Fourth down. Carey, the receiver far to the right side. They'll bring Bill along with A.J. Belford to the near side, and we've got another timeout. 2:07 to go. Tigers on top, 6-0.
we encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Well, here's a huge fourth down play for the Fighting Angels. It could determine whether they keep this drive alive and a opportunity to tie this game and maybe send it to overtime or get a win for the championship. Let's see what they're going to dial up right here. Fourth down, let's call it about 3. Horn, empty backfield. Now puts a man in motion. He'll reset to the right. Horn, here comes the pressure. Puts it in the air. Ball's going to be caught at the 30, 25, 20. Brought down at about the 11-yard line. Might even push it back to the 12, but a big, big pass play.
Really good play. And again, it's Horn rolling out to his right multiple times today. That has been the story. But his receiver settles into a zone where no one else is around him, and nicely done. Huge connection. Now you're inside the 20.
Keegan Bill on the reception. He, along with Ben Carey, been the 2 main targets here this afternoon for Aiden Horn. So now first down. Fine Angels trying to tie it up. Horn's going to carry it himself. He's going to get sacked. Drop for the big loss. There's McAllister. That's a huge loss. You're talking all the way back to about the 21-yard line. Actually, 26-yard line. So now 3 receivers to the left. Single receiver to the right side. That'll be Bill. Clock continues to tick as we come up on a minute. Horn going to air it out. Has a man there. It's up for grabs, and it's going to be caught for a touchdown. Double coverage, and Keegan Bill able to come up with it, tying the ball game at 6 apiece.
Boy, what just happened there? Into double coverage like you said, but just out jumping everybody did Bill.
Boy, who would have thunk that one? But now you're looking at a Fighting Angels team that has a chance here. The wind behind them as Connor Clan will attempt the extra point. It's a good snap. The kick is on the way, and it is good. And just like that, St. Maria Goretti hits the extra point. And they're going to say it is worth actually 2 points on the extra points. You're talking about an 8-6 lead with only 58 seconds remaining. And, well, that thing changed really quick.
Well, that was a confident kick, too. Clem looks like he can be doing that in the future as he keeps getting older. We got a replay of the touchdown. Just another one of those passes that the launch angle just hangs up there for Horn, but out jumping everybody and snagging it. Keegan Bill, I mean, just throwing it up as a prayer almost was Horn into double coverage. He trusts his guy, and his guy made a play.
And just like that, the Fighting Angels lead it by 2. If it were from the 1-yard line, it had been worth 1, but since it was from the 5-yard line, it was worth 2 on that one. So now, with just 58 seconds remaining, what do the Tigers have in store here? Harrison Odom is going to work with trips to the near sides. He's going to have 5 receivers in the lineup right here.
Well, something we haven't seen, Troy, yet was them throwing it downfield. So now you're going to have to see that with 58 seconds to go and 60 yards to cover.
Odom will throw. Here comes the pressure, and he's going to get sacked big time. Back inside the 30-yard line. And one of the first ones there to get him, number 88, Ryan James.
Odom had no chance. Less than a second.
And a timeout on the field with only 51 seconds remaining. 8-6 your score.
I'm Keith Myers, Vice President of IndianaSRN. Thanks for joining us. Do you know IndianaSRN broadcasts 350 games a year? All sorts of sports? Yeah, we do. Hard to believe, isn't it? IndianaSRN loves to put student athletes first on our website. If you're a business out there, we probably could help you too. Contact us at coach@indianasrn.org. Grandma from out of state thanks you. Mom and dad who can't get to the game thanks you as well. In fact, our athletes watch the games over and over again. Our military has enjoyed the games as well. So sit back and enjoy the game. It's IndianaSRN.
After the timeout, 2nd down and long, they'll have to get to midfield, speaking of the Tigers, to get a first down. But they are over 70 yards. We're talking about 72 yards away from going ahead in this one after fireworks by the Fighting Angels. The touchdown pass to put Fighting Angels ahead in this one. Odom to throw over the middle, and it's going to be nearly intercepted at the 42-yard line. That was really, really close to being picked off. Number 35, A.J. Belford.
Odom and his receiver not on the same page there. If Odom can throw it more down the field and the timing's a lot better, who knows? But that one well behind him. 3rd down and very long.
Well, Odom, not a big guy, but he has a pretty decent arm. So empty backfield once again. Big 3rd down here for the Tigers. Here comes the pressure. That one's going to be tipped at the line of scrimmage. It falls incomplete. It did hit the turf, and now it's 4th down.
4th down and 21 for Christ the King.
Well, I'm not sure what you have in your bag of tricks on this one, but it better get past the 50, whatever it is.
They have Smith out here. They have Scott. Well, now they're going to huddle up. We'll see what kind of formation. It's been 5 wide, which we can probably expect something like. But now the Fighting Angels have some guys playing much deeper. There's 5 guys standing at the 40-yard line. They're just going to fall back and keep everything in front of them.
Yeah, and the other 6 players are really going to put the pressure here on Odom. He has one in the backfield. They're going to try that little Statue of Liberty type play. The ball comes loose, and it's going to be recovered by the Fighting Angels. Odom started to go back, and then he was going to hold it up high, brought it back down low, and then there was just miscommunication and a fumble between him and Reed Smith. And Christ the King cannot get it done on that play, so the Fighting Angels will take over the football, and we're down to 31 seconds.
Really good response for the Fighting Angels after that touchdown drive for the Tigers. A whole lot of Reed Smith running the football. They responded, came out with their own offense, which was dominantly passing and running it with Horn. They were able to get into the end zone, and then their defense has been able to pick up things too ever since the Tigers were forced into passing situations.
So now the Fighting Angels will get the football. And actually the clock is down to 9 seconds to go. They may not have to run another play right here. They will get one, kneel down, and that's going to do it. We will keep it here for the awards ceremony. I want to thank Mr. Cyphers again for allowing us to be here today to broadcast this Cadet AA Division football game, and the Fighting Angels end up getting the win after Reed Smith had scored, and what an ending. You had no offense through 3 quarters, and then you get to about the midway point of the 4th quarter, and then you get all the scores.
Defense was stellar early on. Yeah, nobody could really get deep into the opponent's territory. A lot of pressure applied to the quarterbacks. That made the passing game hard on each side, so you had to rely on the run. Horn was terrific with his legs. And Smith, the lead tailback for the Tigers, doing a lot of the work. And it looked like it ended up being a game actually where kind of the last team that possesses the football has a pretty good shot at it. So the Fighting Angels, even though they were down 6-0, riding a lot of momentum after some of those big plays.
By the way, I would say now it might be Keegan Bill as the most valuable player after making that catch for the score that eventually tied the ball game, and then they got the extra point to put them up by 2. And I know the Tigers, boy, it's a tough feeling there. If you're the Tigers, you had the victory, you thought maybe in your hand right there, and then it slips away. So we're going to step away. Fighting Angels win it by a final of 8-6 here in the AA Cadet Division. And we'll have one more game coming up in just a few moments. Thanks for being with us right here on IndianaSRN.
I've had the opportunity to see CYO in a lot of different ways. Number one, I was a participant, and then later became a parent of participants, and then later became involved in the leadership of CYO. So I've seen it from a lot of different angles. And I would say that I don't know that you can really fully appreciate it until you see the eyes of your own children, the eyes of your grandchildren, and the opportunities that are afforded them through CYO. The organization, 1939, CYO Camp Rancho Formasa in 1946, and since then, CYO has been on a fast track.
I think what makes CYO for the Archdiocese of Indianapolis unique is that we have 8 sports for boys, 8 sports for girls. We also offer year-round camp opportunities as well as enrichment activities. I've learned that only a handful of CYOs across the country actually offer as many things we do. I believe what makes us stand out really is our commitment to our mission. Our number one job, we believe, across all of CYO is to help the young people we serve get to heaven. And as we think about it, is there really anything more significant we could do than that?
We have a pretty unique thing here, and you realize that when you go on with your life and engage with people from around the country. What we've built with our CYO is unique and really the envy of a lot of other peer organizations.
I was at a wedding. He was telling me how with his kids, he's just shaking his head. He's just like, oh my gosh, I use so much of what I learned at camp to redirect my kids in activities, to be centered on my kids when they're talking to me. Stuff he says I learned at camp. And then he went on to say this. He works in Washington, D.C. in politics, and he said, Kevin, he kind of leaned in, he said, like, I use those same skills when I talk to congressmen too. So in that way, I look at that, it's like, you know, look at that. We're really changing the world. CYO Camp is affecting the world in places outside of the beautiful 297 acres that we have here at CYO Camp.
I'm always a big advocate for CYO sports. I know I had a great time playing those sports, and I think it's one of the most pure forms of extracurricular activities in a grade school level. I mean, I think people get into it for the right reasons. I think coaches coach for the right reasons for the kids, and kids are playing to have fun, have a good time. And I implore people to volunteer as well, not just have your kids play the sports, but volunteer to coach and even volunteer to ref. I know there's a shortage of refs out there.
And yes, winning's important, but it's about building your character, it's about growing in virtue, it's about leading with your faith first. And that's why I'm so passionate about CYO, because I think that it really teaches us and forces us to keep our priorities in order. It's not win at all costs. It's about things like getting to heaven first, about being a good teammate, doing the right thing, growing in virtue, and that's the stuff that really matters in life.
I think the most important thing that participants take away from the CYO programs is the experience of being loved and cared for by other Christian adults. Kids need that. Kids need to know they're valued. And our CYO leaders do a good job of caring for and loving the kids whom they serve. Otherwise, they wouldn't be putting in the time.
We teach our staff to live like St. John Bosco, to really play with the kids and to learn through play to be Christ-like in all that they do.
As a family, we went to church every week, so they had a pretty strong faith life growing up. But I think, saying prayers before practice, after practice, games, etc., being able to pray with teammates, they benefited from. You just can't do that in other venues and other leagues that you play in.
I would say our number one job as coaches or as parents is to get our kids to heaven. And what better way than to help your kid grow in faith and get closer to God and closer to Jesus than through sports. I think kids love sports. I love sports. It's not always the most exciting thing for a 10-year-old boy to go sit in mass for an hour, but you can be out here at practice and you're praying and you're learning about virtues and you're growing in your faith and your community together. And I think that's why, to me, that's the most important thing and the thing that differentiates CYO from just your normal kind of public school, youth sports program.
I do it because of the experience I had and the experience that I know that others are going to have, and that's going to influence their lives the way it has influenced mine.
All these things that we want them to be armed with as they go from being young Catholic boys and girls to becoming great Catholic men and women and eventually on to becoming saints. Just a great opportunity for them to live out those traits, those ideals, and practice them.
At CYO Camp, one of our core values is being inclusive. Our inclusive core value leads us in all of our programming. This is important because it welcomes all different types of people, no matter what their abilities are, their faith, their race, their socioeconomic background, or simply who they are as a person. We strive to ensure that everyone feels welcomed, included, and valued at CYO Camp.
In a world where, quite candidly, sometimes it's difficult to have our kids stay engaged in faith, CYO is one way to do it, and it's a way that if you do give, it really helps and makes an impact.
Number is staggering, how many people. You think of all the generations that have come through CYO sports. The problem now is with rising costs, we all feel it. We know there's things get more pricey every day. We need to bridge the gap between what our affordable fees for playing sports and for camp. We need to make sure that we bridge that gap so that everybody who wants to go can go to camp or to play sports.
I think it's very important for others to support CYO because CYO serves such a diverse population of kids. And a lot of those kids do not come from affluent families with lots of means. So the contributions people provide to CYO enables many more people to participate and afford to participate, therefore giving more children an opportunity to enjoy the values that CYO and CYO Camp provides.
Thank you for watching this video about our CYO story. On behalf of all of us at CYO and CYO Camp, please know how much your kindness and generosity is appreciated. We truly could not carry out our mission of helping the young people we serve get to heaven without your support. Please prayerfully consider partnering with us once again. Your donation is appreciated more than you know. May God bless you always for your generosity. Thank you.
Welcome everyone to Roncalli High School as we bring you CYO football on a Sunday afternoon. We will bring you the Crusaders of St. Michael's and St. Barnabas Warriors coming up in just a few moments as we continue here on the pregame show on IndianaSRN.
back at Roncalli High School. Keith Myers along with Jack Schmitz. He is the athletic director at CYO for the boys. And football season's over after today, but who could picture this game at 66 degrees for this championship game? You got to believe November is pretty good for us.
Man, we couldn't ask for anything better, Keith. It doesn't get any better than this to have this weather here, and the site of Roncalli High School, a great stadium, and such a big stage for these kids to be on today.
Talk a little bit about the program. All in all, very good year, very competitive everywhere. You had 8 games yesterday, 2 games today. It's been a really great season to cap off for CYO.
Yes, it's been a great season. My first season with CYO, and we had increased participation numbers. We had close to just under 1,350 boys out for football through 3rd grade through 8th grade this year. So just a really successful season, and excited to see all the participation and the growth of CYO.
And it's real important to let the fans know who are listening across the world, because this is a worldwide broadcast. If they would like to see more of this action, they can contact your office, because we want to keep this going, but we need these kids to be supported. And it's about emptying out your wallet a little bit and help with this program.
Yes, I mean, we serve over 20,000 kids throughout central and southern Indiana each year, and our mission, we've been around since 1939, so long storied tradition, and a lot of families and generations of families that have had a huge impact on their lives through CYO and participating in a number of different sports, as well as our enrichment programs. We have a chess program, a music program, as well as CYO Camp Rancho Formasa, located down in Brown County, Indiana, which has school programs throughout the year and summer week-long stays during the summer that kids just really enjoy and have a great time with.
As I told you off air earlier today in our production meeting, this affected me when I was 12 years old. My mom and dad divorced, and this was almost dad on Sundays, to going to watch CYO basketball or football at Little Flower, eating nachos, and mom knew where I was, and then when 6 o'clock came, she knew I was coming home. So the CYO means so much for us. That's why this partnership that IndianaSRN and CYO has had is a very impactful partnership with us.
Yes, we greatly appreciate it. It's been awesome. It started with our Archdiocesan basketball tournament last year, and continuing with football, and we hope to continue this. And like you mentioned, just the stories that I've heard from a number of people.
Yeah, you said the first game would be a close one. It was. This one's going to be a close one. We'll be ready for that right after this timeout. You're watching CYO football on IndianaSRN.
Burtner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment, whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action, or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
Welcome back again to Roncalli High School as we get ready for our CYO AAA championship game here this afternoon, and it should be a good one. The Warriors and the Crusaders, and I think the one thing we noticed already about this Crusaders team is how big their offensive and defensive line is. We've got about 3 guys that are 280, 290, 300-pound range, and I remind you that they're still in middle school. I mean, I'd love to have them in the next few years.
These guys do not look like they're still in middle school. We were kind of shocked. You had to use your binoculars to look all the way over at them, and so we can get these numbers right. And we weren't second guessing exactly what we were seeing. But the Crusaders, they look big. They look ready. We said the same thing though in the first game with some of the guys on the Fighting Angels. A couple of their athletes a lot taller, a lot bigger, and still the Tigers gave them all that they could handle, and that was a very fun, exciting first game to open things up between Christ the King and St. Maria Goretti. So we're ready to go for our second and final game of CYO football here at Roncalli, and if it's anything like the first game, we are surely in for a treat.
Yeah, no doubt about that. We're expecting fireworks in this one. These are the players that, again, are maybe just a step ahead of the last game. That's why it's a AAA game here at CYO, as both teams being introduced here, and a great crowd for game one. We've got a very, very good crowd here for game number 2, and a beautiful afternoon for CYO football. Crusaders will be in the red uniforms, and the Warriors will be in the maroon uniforms, and St. Barnabas will get the football first, and they'll place it again at the 40, and no kickoffs and returns here in CYO football. So let's see how these two teams will stack up. Last game was kind of an offensive struggle till the very end in the fourth quarter, and then ended up seeing 2 scores late. And we might see much of the same here today. We've got some size, some speed. We've got guys that are very talented, and here we go. Warriors football, 1st and 10. Caleb Maurer will be the receiver, split wide to the left. First play of the ball game here this afternoon. Again, 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line. Play action pass near side. It's going to fall incomplete. Pass intended here on the near side for Ryder Douglas. And it'll be 2nd down and 10.
St. Michael's really packing in the box. You mentioned just the one receiver split out. But crowding that box, even with the play action, they were some guys coming after the quarterback, making it hard to complete that first pass.
Dominic Cromer at 5'9", 135-pound quarterback. Now it's 2nd down and 10 as the Warriors will hand it off. They'll run over the left side, and a gain of nearly 5 on the carry. Will Haygood there for the Warriors. And when you talk about some of those guys up front for the Crusaders, and we'd already mentioned some of the weights of some of the players that you're going to see here this afternoon, but tell you what, when you talk about Giovanni Mondragon at about 290, and he is wearing number 99, how'd you like to see him across the line of scrimmage in your only 8th grade?
Pretty fitting. He's wearing the largest number possible on that defensive line, right over the nose of the football, too.
So it's going to be 3rd down and long. Warriors football here to start this AAA championship game. And here they come defensively. The handoff. They find a hole. It closes up really quickly on that run. Looked like it was number 20, Haygood, on the carry once again out to about the 47-yard line.
Brings up 4th down for the Warriors.
So now 4th down and about 3. They have to get to the 50-yard line for the first down. Jeremy Cromer, the head coach for St. Barnabas. And on the other side, Eddie Schmehill, the head coach for the Crusaders. So 4th down. Ryder Douglas, one of 2 receivers, split wide to the left side. And now man in motion out of the slot, and they fumbled the snap, and it's going to go over to the Crusaders. As for the first time here this afternoon, the Warriors unable to get anything going in their first possession.
Cromer was standing very oddly close to the line of scrimmage. He was only like 3 yards behind the center, so it made a really skinny alleyway for the man who was in jet motion. And I don't know if that's what threw off the timing or anything, but not a good play. You don't even get the play off. You don't even go through its progression on 4th down.
There was a penalty flag. It was declined. And now for the first time, the Crusaders will have the football in their opponent's territory, the carry. And that'll be Anthony Schmehill on the carry. Schmehill, there's 3 of them, Max, Matt, and Anthony. Max wearing number 1, Matt wearing number 2, and Anthony wearing number 3.
How about that? Makes it easy.
2nd down and about 5 for St. Michael.
So Matt Schmehill, one of the 2 receivers, now split wide to the right side. We'll have 4 in the ball game now for the Crusaders. 2nd down and about 5. They'll look to throw out in the flat. Ball's going to be caught. On the catch is Dan Adams. He's going to get close to the 1st down.
So Max and Matt Schmayhill were both towards the top of the screen, split out. Numbers 1 and 2 doing the wide receiver blocking down the field, and that'll set them up 3rd down and short.
Yeah, both Max and Matt again will stay on that right side. It'll be 3rd down at about a yard. First possession of the ball game, and the quarterback will keep it. He's going to get hit hard, but gets a 1st down and actually getting some extra yardage as he gets inside the 30 near the 29, and now we have a flag down.
Somebody may have ripped Schmayhill's helmet off of him. You saw the sideline of the Crusaders. They were going nuts when Schmayhill lost his helmet. They thought maybe it was taken off, perhaps a face mask.
It is a personal foul face mask. You're exactly right. So the penalty will be tacked on at the end of that run, and already the Crusaders in really good shape as that's going to take it inside the 20-yard line all the way down to the 14.
It'll be 1st and 10 on the 14-yard line.
Big number 90 stays in there, and Adam Abdullah is the right tackle. They got some big bodies on that right side. They'll fake the handoff, throw to the near side. Ball will be caught into the end zone. Touchdown. Crusaders on the board first here in this AAA game. And it's 6-0.
Tavian Fox on the catch. Nice little quick hitter. Well done by Schmayhill. Going to the wide side of the field. Had plenty of space to maneuver around. And Fox caps off a very impressive and quick drive down the field for St. Michael's.
So now the extra point attempt. You know, I was looking at that offensive line on that right side with Abdullah and along with Mondrag, and we're talking about guys that are 290, 300. If they want to run the football, I guess they'd run it right side a lot. Schmayhill now for the 2-point conversion. He'll look to throw, does so, ball caught, and unable to get it into the end zone for the conversion is Max Schmayhill. So still 6 on the board there for the Crusaders, and they lead this one 6-0.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
An impressive start there for the Crusaders as the Warriors will get the football for the 2nd time. It certainly helped having that penalty, but you have to be very impressed with that offense.
Pretty dynamic offense. Kept things balanced. Schmayhill seems to be pretty smart with the football, not forcing anything, just getting it out to his athletes and letting them do all the work in space. It's a big Crusaders team, but they also have some speed, and it showed in that last touchdown drive.
All right, let's see what the Warriors can do now from the 40-yard line, their 2nd possession of the afternoon. They'll look to throw near sideline, and it's going to be just out of the reach of the intended receiver. That was Hegwood, excuse me, Will Hegwood, the 6', 139-pound receiver. Also use him as a running back.
Yeah, Hegwood's got some height to him. He's working against one of the Schmayhills. That's number 2, so that's Matt. But there was safety help over the top, too, so You know, you do like the idea of going to your taller receiver, but don't want to force anything in double coverage.
Caleb Maurer here to the near side. Now will be picked up single coverage. Low snap again, and he's going to lose yardage. That is the second time they've had an issue between the center and the quarterback.
Sack in the backfield made by number 9.
As
Kimarion.
McCullough there to make the stop, all the way back to about the 35-yard line. And a lot of times when you have some issues between your center and your quarterback, it can really hurt your offense, and now you're back to the 35-yard line.
Brings up 3rd down and long for the Warriors.
You're in a hole on the scoreboard, and now you keep digging a deeper hole, going backwards. Just little tiny mistakes like this are costing you.
So now Cromer, 2 receivers here to the near side, looks to throw over the middle and cannot hit Hegwood again as it falls incomplete, and now all of a sudden you're at 4th and long.
No choice here but to punt it away. Just everything timing-wise has not been quite there yet for St. Barnabas.
So the Crusaders should get excellent field position, and we have the wind that has been blowing from right to left. So for this Warrior football team, they're going to have to kick it into the wind. So this could favor St. Michael's right here. And they will. That one shanked off the side of his foot, but he got a decent roll. It will go out of play, but still nonetheless, this Crusader football team will have it 1st and 10 at about the 42.
They actually snapped it back to Cromer, the quarterback, and he had to pitch it back. So doesn't look like St. Barnabas has a long snapper who can get it all the way back, and you're lucky that you get somewhat of a roll. You still have St. Michael's starting on their own side of the field, but it's pretty good field position at the 42.
That big offensive line here for the Crusaders, leading at 6-0 here in the opening period of play. And they will run the football over the right side. That's going to be Adams, and Adams brought down after gain of about 3. Adams with good speed out to the outside. See, Maurer made the stop there for the Warriors. So it'll be 2nd down.
With that big offensive line St. Michael's has, they have pretty small backs, and Adams being one of them. Pretty small athletes just all around with the Schmahills at wide receiver and your running back, but they make up with it with their skills, their athletic ability with the football.
2 receivers now to the near side. Quarterback will keep it himself, finds a hole, gets a 1st down to about the 45-yard line. Anthony Schmahill on the run. And another 1st down here for the Crusaders.
I think Schmahill was kind of surprised he wasn't taken down sooner, because he got hit once or twice just a few yards past the line of scrimmage and just kind of bounced off of the hit, and that propelled him forward. New set of downs into Barnabas territory.
This time, Max and Matt Schmahill will line up to the far side of the field. It'll be 1st down, and this a direct snap to the running back Adams, and a flag is down. This might be a hold, and it is. So they had Adams in the backfield along with the quarterback Schmahill, and they went direct snap to Adams, but that hold came immediately. And so the penalty will mark him back and will actually push them back into Crusader territory. Back to the 44-yard line. So now it'll be 1st down and 20. They'll have to get to the 35-yard line of the Warriors in order to get a 1st down, but they've got big play potential. Schmahill again with Adams in as the setback just to his right. And now Adams will go out into the flat. Schmahill, nothing there. Will tuck it under and run it himself. Takes a hard hit across midfield and finally goes down. Hegwood got him big time there. He'll still be about 12 yards shy of the first down, but a nice run there by Schmehill.
Yeah, Schmehill ran right into a brick wall of the bigger Hegwood. Able to get them in second and manageable. You still have your playbook is pretty open. You can run it here or throw it. But it looks like it's going to be a passing situation here. Everybody split out wide.
Clint Contrell is in the ball game now for the Crusaders. That's Adams. He'll take the handoff as a jet sweep around the right side gets him maybe a yard or so, and that was it. Good defense there by the Warriors.
Really good defense, not letting Adams, who turned on the Jets right when he had the football. Had a feeling that St. Michael still was going to try to incorporate some sort of run, whether it be Schmehill on the quarterback draw or bring somebody in motion like Adams did right there. But now we're probably going to see a passing situation when we return for the 3rd down and 11.
That's going to do it for the opening period of play. 6-0 your score.
I'm Keith Myers, Vice President of IndianaSRN. Thanks for joining us. Do you know IndianaSRN broadcasts 350 games a year? All sorts of sports? Yeah, we do. Hard to believe, isn't it? IndianaSRN loves to put student athletes first on our website. If you're a business out there, we probably could help you too. Contact us at coach@indianasrn.org. Grandma from out of state thanks you. Mom and Dad who can't get to the game thanks you as well. In fact, our athletes watch the games over and over again. Our military has enjoyed the games as well. So sit back and enjoy the game. It's IndianaSRN.
Welcome back to Roncalli High School for this AAA matchup here in CYO football. An early 6-0 lead for the Crusaders, but now they have it 3rd down and about 11. Football at the 46 of St. Barnabas. As we switch ends, and now an opportunity here for the Crusaders to go into the wind for the first time here today. Anthony Schmehill has his two brothers, Max and Matt, split wide to the left side. Adams in the backfield is the lone setback. They will snap it to Adams over the right side, and I don't even think he even got back maybe to the line of scrimmage. That was about it. They will put him right there at the 46, so really no gain.
Number 3, AC Schmehill on the quarterback keeper. Brought down by number
Schmehill trying to follow Abdullahi.
4th down and 11 for the
Just nowhere to go. Too much congestion on the short side of the field.
Abdullahi at about 300 pounds, and now we'll see Schmehill punt the football away into the wind. That will take a nice bounce, and it will continue to roll inside the 20, and now the Warriors will take over the football, though deep in their own territory. Will place it at the 17-yard line. You know, what is surprising when you look at the Crusaders and the size of those guys up front, that they wouldn't be just moving those defensive linemen off the football, but give the Warriors credit. They hang right in there. In fact, when we talked about their roster earlier, there's nobody on their team heavier than 147 pounds. And yet they were able to stop the run effectively on that drive. So Dominic Cromer will bring his offense out for the 3rd time here this afternoon. He's got protection now with 2 in the backfield if he needs it. The handoff up the middle, and maybe a couple. Just not a whole lot of running room right there. That once again was Hegwood.
Still no rhythm quite yet as they start this 3rd possession. Does St. Barnabas something that they're going to need offensively? We've seen a couple of drop snaps. We've seen, of course, some negative plays, some penalties, things that keep getting them set backwards. You want to see some sort of rhythm offensively, get a drive going together.
So it'll be second down after gain of a couple on that play. Cromer takes the snap, looks to throw, and a quick hit. That ball was dropped. Intended there for Caleb Maurer, but he had to have heard some footsteps coming on that one.
Yeah, and that's kind of a sketchy situation to try something like that, too, with the corner not playing very far off, really, off Maurer. He may have only been 5 or 6 yards off, and he came closing down hard. And like you said, yeah, Maurer was probably thinking about the defender coming in and crashing down on him before he caught the football.
Hegwood, the lone receiver here to the near side, he'll have, in fact, double coverage. The safety's going to come over as well. So a big 3rd and long here for Cromer and the Warriors, but I think we may end up with a timeout. We will. Warriors need to talk about it. They trail it 6-0. Back here at Roncalli High School, Warriors get the timeout. A 3rd and long. They'll have to get to the 27-yard line for the first down. See what the Warriors have in store here as you see Dominic Cromer bring the offense back out from the sideline. In the backfield will be Jackson Lawson, 5'11", 132-pound running back as he'll reset from left to right. 3rd down. Here comes the pressure. Ball down the middle and nowhere close as the pressure was coming. It was intended, I think, 86. Kesnick was there, Jimmy Kesnick, but he had some coverage not only behind him but in front of him as Kesnich at 5'8", unable to come up with it.
Yeah, Cromer really didn't have anywhere to go. All receivers across the board were pretty well covered. And for St. Michael's, that good punt that had Barnabas pinned down deep this way, now they can get rewarded with it, forcing a punt here.
Boy, low snap, and tell you what, if it weren't for the good hands there of Cromer, he may have given that one up as Adams going to be brought down on special teams. That could have been a disaster right there for the Warriors.
That's another thing, too. You get so pinned back so deep, and on 4th down, obviously you have to punt it, but you are not confident with your punting formation, having to force Cromer to catch it and pitch it back to the punter. Now things are difficult for your defense to follow it up. It's everything right now going in favor of St. Michael's, and they're sitting pretty in Barnabas territory to start another drive.
Put the football at the 43-yard line. 1st down and 10 now for the Crusaders. Schmayhill again with Adams in the backfield, or we got a new running back. We will have actually Anthony Schmayhill as the run over the left side, and that's going to be big-time yardage by Adams. He's going to go all the way to the end zone and score. 43 yards and the touchdown, the direct snap to Dan Adams, and it's now 12-0 Crusaders.
Talk about hitting the nitros on that run. Adams really picked up a second gear. Once he got towards that sideline, that was impressive. So much speed from the back who's not very big. No, we already mentioned it earlier. None of these athletes are very big for St. Michael's, but boy, do they make up with it with their speed.
So now the conversion, it failed the last time out for the Crusaders. That one happening with just a second off the clock as we got under the 5-minute mark right there. So let's see what Schmayhill and this offense will do on this extra point. Adams stays in the backfield. Now again, you got to watch him. They could direct snap to it just like they did in the last possession. Schmayhill will take it, fakes the handoff, rolling, looking toward the end zone, throws it. It's going to be incomplete. And that pass intended for Max Schmayhill, but for the second straight time, the conversion is no good, but the Crusaders lead it 12-0.
Burtner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment, whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action, or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
Warriors will get the football back, but they trail it 12-0 at 4:59 remaining here in period number 2. And well, the one thing you don't want to do right now if you're St. Barnabas, get too far behind. We've seen some explosiveness already by this Crusaders offense, especially after that run by Adams. And that's a hard thing to defend when you have Adams back there and you have Schmayhill back there, and you can hike it to either one, and you don't know which way they're going to go, and that's going to take some adjustments.
Yeah, super dynamic, and they're sticking with how they've been playing all season and the camaraderie they have. We haven't seen that so far from the Warriors.
Cromer will hand it off. It was Hegwood in motion who got the handoff, and he takes it up the middle for about 2 yards. And that's going to be a tough defense to run against up the middle. Those big bodies. Second down, low snap again. He'll throw to the near sideline. There is coverage there, but nobody was open. Maurer was there, and Douglas was there, but the pass was too high, and that might be simply because Cromer's having to get rid of the football a little bit quicker than he wants to.
But he's also, for the most part, he has a clean pocket, and he's, either miscommunication with his wide receivers or
Third down and 8 for the Warriors.
Just not throwing it to the right spot. But nothing in the passing game has looked close to impressive from the Warriors.
Yeah, and you don't want to be in third down and long too much, and there's some movement. But let's see who they're going to get here. Was it the offense first or was it the defense? And it looks like it's going to go against the Warriors. The Warrior fans are right down in front of us. They don't like the call. They thought maybe that Tanner Sparks, that lengthy defensive end on this side, had jumped off sides. But now you're at third down and about 14 for the first down.
It will be third down and 13.
So you have Cromer now is going to have to find a way to get it to the 50-yard line. Otherwise, probably looking to punt it again, and that'll be plenty of time on the clock for the Crusaders here in the second quarter. Cromer empty on the left side. Big third down. Cromer to throw. Will put it into the air. Has a man. First down and more. And Adams will finally run him down out of bounds on the far side. But that is Caleb Maurer making the catch. And a great call there for the Warriors.
There we go. Just as we say something, we want to see more out of this passing game. Really good drop. Kept his eyes downfield. So delivered a really well-thrown ball, did Cromer. On time with his receiver, Maurer. Pretty good play call on 3rd down.
And if it weren't for Adams there, it possibly could have been a touchdown for the Warriors. Nonetheless, a 1st down. Sinovic in the backfield, low snap, handoff, big hole up the middle, and on the run, this will be Jackson Lawson, 132-pounder at 5'11", gets a nice carry. And that's going to be good enough for about 8 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 2. Point just like that, your offense now starting to click.
Yeah, exactly. That was the word. Something's clicked so far. You still need to punch it in. Take down a good amount of this clock, too, if you can. Make it hard for St. Michael's on the other end.
Same formation, 2 receivers. Hand off, and once again on the carry, but nothing this time for Lawson. Might get back to the line of scrimmage. We'll see where they spot the football. In fact, the way it looks here, he might have lost a yard. McClendon on the tackle there for the Crusaders defensively. So mark the football right at the 15-yard line. Split wide to the right side. That'll be Maurer. Big target at 6'1". So I make that reception for the big gain moments ago. Will they go back to him again? Cromer will fake the handoff. He's looking at Maurer. Throws it toward the end zone. Up for grabs. Double coverage there. It falls incomplete. And, boy, that time you could tell that the Crusaders were expecting it because they had the safety coming over in the double coverage. Nice play there defensively.
Yeah, I think Cromer fell in love too much with Maurer and just that route going to the end zone. He had an underneath route. I think it was Jimmy Kesenich who came from the other side of the field, was running right down the 5-yard line. He was wide open. So the safety came over and helped on Maurer on the deep route.
Well, you could see Cromer looking that way. In fact, his eyes were on his target the whole time, and being Maurer, and the Crusaders smelled it out. So now you're looking at 4th down. Cromer to throw over the middle, and a fastball went right between the hands of Anthony Schmehill and then falls incomplete. So the drive stalls there for the Warriors, and they'll give up the football.
That's real unfortunate, and I think if Cromer gets rid of that football maybe a second sooner, that route is there, and they're able to get the reception in the 1st down. It's been one of those things, the timing hasn't all the way been there quite yet for St. Barnabas.
Well, St. Michael's wants a timeout. 12-0 your score.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
St. Michael football, 2:42 remaining here in the second. Can the Crusaders put some more points on the board and really put the Warriors behind the 8 ball going into the second half? Schmehill has run a good offense so far here this afternoon. He'll have Adams in the backfield, setting just to his left, but we've seen a direct snap to Adams, so don't be surprised when you see it. And there it is again. Adams sweep to the left side, but he's going to cut back against the grain. Still on his feet. Yes, 20, 25, 30. A great run by Adams all the way to the 40. Finally brought down near the 41-yard line. What a great run there by Dan Adams.
Boy, that was video game stuff from Adams. He goes right, then starts his trek towards the middle of the field, and they just can't tackle him. He just slithers through all these defenders. No one can bring him down. He's a tough kid, tough runner for his size. He's just been
First down and 10 at the 41-yard
all
line.
over the place, showing off his speed, but also showing off that he can take some hits, take some missed tackles.
They like running it over that right side. Again, you have some big bodies on an offensive line. Crusaders first down from the 41-yard line. Schmehill fakes the pitch, takes it himself. He'll get a couple of yards there before being driven back. Will Hegwood again defensively. He's a tough inside linebacker. Makes the stop. It'll be second down at about 8.
St. Michael's running the football, though, still needs to play with just a little bit more sense of urgency with this clock running down, the final 90 seconds remaining. They still have their timeouts at their use.
Yeah, they are taking a long time in that huddle as they look to the sideline too, and they've let a lot of time run off the clock right here. Max and Matt Schmehill now to the near side. The tight end Tanner Sparks lined up to the right. So now for the first time in a while we have an empty backfield here for your quarterback Anthony Schmehill. Adams, they'll fake the handoff to Adams. Schmehill takes it himself. Takes the hit at about the 45, maybe 46-yard line. It's going to be third down.
Number 3, AC Schmehill with the run.
I don't think they're going to call a timeout here.
Number 21, Max.
I think they might be very satisfied with a 12-0 lead.
And number 47, Carson Keller.
I would be too. I mean, I am maybe a little bit surprised they wouldn't want to try to get close and make things interesting. Maybe have a last-second throw to the end zone at least or something. Plus, they have their timeouts at their use, but they're not going to head that route.
So Max and Matt Schmehill this time lined up to the left, empty on the right side. And the direct snap will go to Adams. Adams trying to use his speed down the sideline. He did make the edge. Depending where he stepped out of bounds, I think he did get the first down at the 47-yard line. So they have moved the chains, but only 5 seconds remaining. Well, we saw Adams score that long run, so they might try to break him out again. Again, the wind is blowing in their face, so that'd be a tough throw to get anything downfield. So Schmehill and Adams. Adams now lined up a little bit further to his left. Now he'll reset. 2 receivers now to the far side. Adams in motion. Schmehill to throw. Puts it in the air and has a man. It's going to be caught. And it's good enough for a first down. It was Adams on the reception. Unfortunately, there's no time remaining on the clock here in the first half. In our AAA championship game, your score, Crusaders leading this one over the Warriors 12-0.
I've had the opportunity to see CYO in a lot of different ways. Number one, I was a participant, and then later became a parent of participants, and then later became involved in the leadership of CYO. So I've seen it from a lot of different angles. And I would say that I don't know that you can really fully appreciate it until you see the eyes of your own children, the eyes of your grandchildren, and the opportunities that are afforded them through CYO. The organization, 1939, CYO Camp Rancho Fumasa in 1946, and since then, CYO has been on a fast track.
I think what makes CYO for the Archdiocese of Indianapolis unique is that we have 8 sports for boys, 8 sports for girls. We also offer year-round camp opportunities as well as enrichment activities. I've learned that only a handful of CYOs across the country actually offer as many things we do. I believe what makes us stand out really is our commitment to our mission. Our number one job, we believe, across all of CYO is to help the young people we serve get to heaven. And as we think about it, is there really anything more significant we could do than that?
We have a pretty unique thing here, and you realize that when you go on with your life and engage with people from around the country. What we've built with our CYO is unique and really the envy of a lot of other peer organizations.
Now, I was at a wedding. He was telling me how with his kids, he's just shaking his head. He's just like, oh my gosh, I use so much of what I learned at camp to redirect my kids in activities, to be centered on my kids when they're talking to me. Stuff he says I learned at camp. And then he went on to say this. He works in Washington, D.C. in politics, and he said, Kevin, he kind of leaned in. He said, like, I use those same skills when I talk to congressmen, too. So in that way, I look at that. It's like, you know, look at that. We're really changing the world. CYO camp is affecting the world in places outside of the beautiful 297 acres that we have here at CYO camp.
I'm always a big advocate for CYO sports. I know I had a great time playing those sports, and I think it's one of the most pure forms of extracurricular activities in a grade school level. I mean, I think people get into it for the right reasons. I think coaches coach for the right reasons for the kids, and kids are playing to have fun, have a good time. And I implore people to volunteer as well, not just have your kids play the sports, but volunteer to coach and even volunteer to ref. I know there's a shortage of refs out there.
And yes, winning's important, but it's about building your character. It's about growing in virtue. It's about leading with your faith first. And that's why I'm so passionate about CYO, because I think that it really teaches us and forces us to keep our priorities in order. It's not win at all costs. It's about things like getting to heaven first, about being a good teammate, doing the right thing, growing in virtue. And that's the stuff that really matters in life.
I think the most important thing that participants take away from the CYO programs is the experience of being loved and cared for by other Christian adults. Kids need that. Kids need to know they're valued. And our CYO leaders do a good job of caring for and loving the kids whom they serve. Otherwise, they wouldn't be putting in the time.
We teach our staff to live like St. John Bosco, to like really play with the kids and to learn through play to be Christ-like in all that they do.
You know, as a family, we went to church every week, so they had a pretty strong faith life growing up. But I think, you know, saying prayers before practice, after practice, games, etc., being able to pray with teammates, they benefited from. You know, you just can't do that in other venues and other leagues that you play in.
I would say our number one job as coaches or as parents is to get our kids to heaven. And what better way than to help your kid grow in faith and get closer to God and closer to Jesus than through sports? I think kids love sports. I love sports. It's not always the most exciting thing for a 10-year-old boy to go sit in mass for an hour, but you can be out here at practice and you're praying and you're learning about virtues and you're growing in your faith and your community together. And I think that's why, you know, to me, that's the most important thing and the thing that differentiates CYO from just your normal kind of public school, you know, youth sports program.
I do it because of the experience I had and the experience that I know that others are going to have, and that's going to influence their lives the way it has influenced mine.
All these things that we want them to be armed with as they go from being young Catholic boys and girls to becoming great Catholic men and women and eventually on to becoming saints. Just a great opportunity for them to live out those traits, those ideals, and practice them.
At CYO camp, one of our core values is being inclusive. Our inclusive core value leads us in all of our programming. This is important because it welcomes all different types of people, no matter what their abilities are, their faith, their race, their socioeconomic background, or simply who they are as a person. We strive to ensure that everyone feels welcomed, included, and valued at CYO camp.
In a world where, quite candidly, sometimes it's difficult to have our kids stay engaged in faith, CYO is one way to do it, and it's a way that if you do give, it really helps and makes an impact.
The number is staggering, how many people. You think of all the generations that have come through CYO sports. The problem now is with rising costs, we all feel it. We know there's things get more pricey every day. We need to bridge the gap between what our affordable fees for playing sports and for camp. We need to make sure that we bridge that gap so that everybody who wants to go can go to camp or to play sports.
I think it's very important for others to support CYO because CYO serves such a diverse population of kids. And a lot of those kids do not come from affluent families with lots of means. So the contributions people provide to CYO enables many more people to participate and afford to participate, therefore giving more children an opportunity to enjoy the values that CYO and CYO Camp provides.
Thank you for watching this video about our CYO story. On behalf of all of us at CYO and CYO Camp, please know how much your kindness and generosity is appreciated. We truly could not carry out our mission of helping the young people we serve get to heaven without your support. Please prayerfully consider partnering with us once again. Your donation is appreciated more than you know. May God bless you always for your generosity. Thank you.
Welcome back again to Roncalli High School, our AAA CYO championship game. Right now the Crusaders leading at 12-0, and boy, you look at the first half, and the Warriors really on defense quite a bit, but that big play by Adams in that second touchdown kind of set things up there. And now you got to be a football team. The Warriors got to find a way to get some offense rolling, and they haven't been able to run it as effectively as they want. The passing attack hasn't been there yet, but we still got another 16 minutes of football.
Someone's going to have to break through, I think, kind of like what Adams is doing for the Crusaders. Somebody for the Warriors has to step up and start making some plays. We did have the big long pass play to Maurer that got the Warriors down deep into the Crusaders' territory, but they still had their drive halted. They can't finish a drive quite yet. They're going to need some more plays like that, though. I think you're going to need some more passing plays with Cromer hooking up with Maurer and company and try to get a long, sustained drive put together and at least put points up on the board, make this a one-possession game.
Well, the first thing you're going to have to do now is you're going to have to stop. The Crusaders will get the football to begin this third quarter.
Crusaders will have the ball to begin the second half at their own 40-yard line.
And we have seen Anthony Schmehill run that offense very effectively. He has some nice targets if he needs to. And, of course, the running play of ability of Dan Adams and how tough it has been, again, on that defense when you have those two guys in the backfield and you can direct snap to either one of them. As we have the two teams now switch sides, we had put it down, or the officials did, at the 40 on the wrong side, so they'll move down to the left side and we'll go from there. And if you're the Crusaders, you get another touchdown on the board, you really, I don't say you seal it, but I think right now, the way their defense has been playing, it'd be really tough.
For sure.
So 1st and 10 here in the third quarter. Schmehill out of the shotgun will take it himself. Brought down after a gain of about 3. You know, the one thing, though, I know those guys up front are very big for the Crusaders, and they had the one nice run on that sweep to the outside, but they haven't opened at the big holes I thought they would at this point.
It is quite the trajectory change from those two guys on the right side of the line compared to the left side of the offensive line. And really, whoever it's been, whether it's been Schmehill or Adams running the football, they haven't really favored one side over the other as much as maybe we thought they could.
2nd down and 7. Direct snap this time to Adams. He's not going to get much here to about the 45, so just 2 on the carry. It'll be 3rd down and 5.
Although right now they're starting to work that right side of the offensive line, and they're bringing a pulling guard from the left, creating a huge hole that gets closed up actually pretty quickly by the Warriors. What a message it'd be for this defense if they can get a stop to start this second half off right.
I was just thinking, can you imagine having the grocery bill of some of those guys right now and you still have another 4 years of high school? I'm not sure that I'd have enough money. Hash mark near side. 3rd down and 5. Adams will take the snap, looking for running room. He's going to bounce to the outside. Does he have the speed to get to the edge? He does. 1st down as he's driven out of bounds. And the Crusaders will keep this drive alive.
Man, take note of this kid, Adams. He is something fun to watch. Kind of hides himself behind the offensive line. He's just staying patient, waiting to bounce things towards the outside. And he just always is able to find that second gear that he can shift to and give him enough speed to catch the edge.
1st down will put the football at the 44-yard line. Tanner Sparks now split wide to the left along with Octavian Fox, who's in the ball game. So another first down, and this time Schmehill will get hit immediately. He's going to lose a couple of yards. Not sure if there was anybody blocking on that left side there, as Carson Keller at 147 pounds able to get in there and get the stop, and the nose of the football just shy of the 45.
Good play here for the Warriors would actually, if you could set up St. Michael's in a passing situation, so another play back-to-back where you can push them back for a loss or no gain. That could help out your cause a whole lot.
Mundragon had to tie his shoe before they could get to the line of scrimmage. And the snap again will go to Adams, and he's going to get driven back, and that's good pursuit defensively. Looked like number 44 was the first one in there. Luke Rader. Rader at 5'11", 139 pounds, and it's going to be 3rd and long.
No gain for Adams. They sold out on the run. They're packing the box.
3rd down and 12 for the Crusaders.
Really, St. Michael's, they haven't shown very many different formations, so you can kind of tell when, of course, you know they're going to run the ball probably 80 to 85% of the time anyways. But now you might think we could have a passing situation here.
Schmehill, the quarterback, was at the sidelines, and once he came in, they're going to have to get a timeout as they were unable to get the right play out that they wanted. So we'll take a timeout as well. 12-0 your score.
I'm Keith Myers, Vice President of IndianaSRN. Thanks for joining us. Do you know IndianaSRN broadcasts 350 games a year? All sorts of sports? Yeah, we do. Hard to believe, isn't it? IndianaSRN loves to put student athletes first on our website. If you're a business out there, we probably could help you too. Contact us at coach@indianasrn.org. Grandma from out of state thanks you. Mom and Dad who can't get to the game thanks you as well. In fact, our athletes watch the games over and over again. Our military has enjoyed the games as well. So sit back and enjoy the game. It's IndianaSRN.
Back here at Roncalli High School after the timeout. I want to remind you that CYO Football, any use of pictures, audio, video, or the likeness of Jarrett is prohibited by CYO and IndianaSRN. Notice how I protected your rights.
I appreciate that.
Schmehill to throw to the sideline, and it's going to be dropped. Adams, nope, it's going to be number 2, not Adams. Instead, it'll be Matt Schmehill, unable to bring it in. Looked like he was going to catch that football, but just bounced off his chest.
It was a well-thrown ball, perfectly placed by Anthony. Should have been caught. Him and his brother, they're going to talk that one over for sure when they get a chance.
Well, you know they've been playing a lot of pitch and catch over the years, so he would probably tell his brother, no excuse, Matt. So now you're looking at 4th down. They look like they'll be in punting formation here, and the kick is an end-over-end kick. It's going to be a short one, and it's going to take a Warriors bounce. So for St. Barnabas, they're going to have excellent field position here on this possession.
Only about an 8-yard punt, and that wind is not helping it. It has picked up at times. It has calmed down, but it has no doubt been a factor ever since we've gotten here around noon earlier today.
Dominic Cromer brings the offense back out. Football again at the 36-yard line. So far, they are unable to put points on the board here this afternoon. Could this be the drive to get them back in this game? Cromer will hand off, and I'll tell you what, he got steamrolled. I think he ran right into his own offensive lineman, but big number 90 was right there. As Adam Abdullahi at 300 pounds drove his man back and ran him right into the running back as well.
Sometimes that's all they need to do is just run the offensive lineman back into their own guys. You don't have to make the tackle. You can just put on a big old push.
So now it'll be second down. Cromer to throw. He's going to go to the sideline. Ball in the air, and I think it's going to be incomplete, and it is. Coming over to knock that one away was Max Schmehill. And now you're talking about third down and long.
Looks like Clint Contrell was also there to make the stop. Ball hung in the air just long enough for the second guy to come over, get the deflection.
Football just shy of the 33. If you didn't like the popcorn, you didn't have to dump it right there, you know.
Well, you didn't have to tell everybody that I just
there are
fumbled.
No secrets.
I fumbled the popcorn box up here.
So it'll be third down and long. They'll have to get to the 46-yard line. Two receivers to the right. Hash mark again to the right side as well. Over the middle. Ball's going to be caught. 45. Should be a first down. It is. On the reception, Caleb Maurer at 6'1". That big target comes through again.
Maurer is a really nice target, especially over the middle of the field, tight end territory where you can just kind of have a mismatch almost. If you can, as a tight end, you can find whether it be a smaller backer or a slower backer, or maybe a smaller DB on you, that can always create a mismatch.
So first down, football again at the 48-yard line. Warriors will look to run the football up the middle, and this time on the carry, Jackson Lawson. Nice gain to the 48. By the way, I'm going to ask you on the popcorn thing, do you have the 10-second rule going here, or do you just...
I don't know. With the way this rug is up here and the Ron Carly press box.
It looks pretty clean to me.
I did get it in time.
Okay.
Within the 10-second rule, but do I trust this rug and
you might as well.
All the shoes that have been stepped on it. Yeah, I mean.
Where you dumped it, there wasn't much dirt. Second down as the Warriors on the move now with two receivers split wide to the left side. Empty on the right side. Cromer, play action pass, nice fake, rolls, throws, ball caught at the 40, or did he drop it? No, he dropped it. He was a little bit behind Maurer, and he was unable to bring it in, so it'll be third down.
That's a really tough pass to make if you're Cromer. Rolling out to your right, not necessarily throwing it behind your body, but you still have Maurer trailing over the middle of the field, and he put it on a dart. But I think the DB may have got his hand in there and kind of ripped it away. Maurer never had a clean reception of it.
So this is a big third down. Just under 2 minutes remaining here in this third quarter. Handoff left side, big hole at the 40. Still on his feet. Brought out of bounds near side. Lawson again on another nice run there for the Warriors.
Lawson's kind of starting to find his groove this drive. Utilizing him a lot more. We haven't called his name much earlier in this ball game, but now you can keep that running game going with Lawson. Huge hole on that left side.
So the drive so far very successful here for the Warriors. Maurer, the lone receiver, he has single coverage on the right side, though that safety is kind of shading over that way. Cromer again will take the snap. Here comes the pressure backside. Throws it low. Is it caught? Yep, they're going to say a reception. And there he is again. Caleb Maurer, nice reception.
Yeah, for the Warriors, they're really only throwing out two receivers out wide, one on each side. And St. Michael's has two safeties back, so it's really double coverage. Those safeties are just blanketing their side of the field, so you can work that middle of the field. Good route run by Maurer.
And Maurer out there again. Let's see if they might try that one more time, or will they run the football on first down? They will run the football, getting the carry. Lawson again, and Lawson gets a nice gain near the 20. So he's going to get 5 yards out of that carry. Adams in on the stop there for the Crusaders. Could be the final play of this third quarter. I think they'd love to try to get this in the end zone if they can with that wind at their back. Otherwise, they're going to be forced to go into the wind in that fourth quarter. You're going to have to hurry here. 10 seconds remaining. Sinovic in the backfield just to the left of Cromer. Cromer will throw. Looking left and going to be knocked down. Boy, he had the long arms there of number 5, Tanner Sparks. And they're able to knock that one away, and that's going to do it for period number 3 after 3 quarters. Right now, the Warriors and the Crusaders with a 12-point lead. We're back here at Roncalli High School. Final 8 minutes of play. And for the Warriors, they're down to 3rd down on this one. Boy, this would be really, really tough to get the drive this far into your opponent's territory and not get some points out of this.
Yeah, it's much needed. You most definitely want some points out of this. You know, you're not sure how many more possessions you're going to have for the rest of this game after this possession. Best case scenario, probably 2, depending on what St. Michael's ends up doing with the football when they have it. But you don't want to wait around any longer. You've gotten this far. You want to punch it in.
Sinovic stays in the ball game along with Lawson in the backfield with Cromer. 3rd down and 5 right here. Hand off up the middle, and it's going to be just shy, I believe, of that 1st down as Lawson got the carry. They'll mark him down at the 16-yard line. In fact, that nose of the football is just inches away from the 15. Ryder Douglas back into the lineup now for the Warriors. Sinovic's going to stay in. So let's see what will happen here. 4th down and short. Empty on the left side, as you see right there, as Cromer brings him to the line of scrimmage. Handoff, diving ahead. 1st down, Hegwood. Well, he's got that long body, and he was able to get that block as well. I think it might have been Luke Rader who got him loose on the block, number 44.
Interesting they go with Hegwood, too. We haven't seen Hegwood out of the backfield much today, if at all. And he's going to stay back there alongside with Lawson.
So 1st down in the red zone here for the Warriors. Hand off, sweep to the right side. Out of bounds, Hegwood gets his 2nd consecutive call. And where are they going to spot him out of bounds at around the 3-yard line?
He got a lot more than I thought he did. He got to the edge. They're keeping things simple, the Warriors are, really packing everybody in. Going towards that strong side of the offensive line that they have set up. And I expect we'll see a lot of the same right here on this play, trying to punch it in for 6.
By the way, they can still get a 1st down at the 1-yard line. Maurer split wide left. Will they give Hegwood a chance to get it into the end zone right here? Boy, there's some jumping up front. That's going to go against the Crusaders. Big number 90. Abdullah got a little too anxious. By the way, if you're a Colts fan, it's not a good day. I just saw Somebody running for their life again. Who do you think it was? Ellinger?
Probably the quarterback.
By the way, he got caught, in case you're wondering. So here's Maurer again to the left side. Near side will be Douglas. Hand off, Hegwood, and he's going to get stopped. He might even lose a yard or so. Like big number 99 was in there to make the stop. Mundragon. Boy, he's big too. I tell you what, 290, 300-pounder right there in the middle. That's hard to run.
Right next to Abduli. That is a hard hole to open up between those two guys.
You know, the Warriors are going to have to get on the board here pretty quick because there's a lot of time coming off the clock. You're only at just over 6 minutes remaining. Second down. Fake the handoff. Cromer rolls, throws toward the end zone. It's going to be incomplete. Luke Rader is tight end, the intended receiver on that one. It does stop the clock, though, and you're looking at third down.
2 plays left to get it in. How creative do you get here?
Brings up 3rd and goal for the Warriors.
You go back to your bread and butter, in a sense, with either Hegwood running the football or back to Lawson.
Jabovkis in the lineup now for the Warriors as he will come in as one of the tight ends. So a third down here. Cromer looks over the middle, ball caught, touchdown. He went back to his big target, Caleb Maurer, and they get 6 on the board and now trail it by 6.
Boy, Cromer's actually lucky because Schmehill came over. He kind of read the play just a little bit, but he came over just too late. And he was mad at himself that he didn't get that thing picked off. It was pretty good play call. So many guys in the box from St. Michael's. So you like that matchup with Maurer going one-on-one.
Joey Matus in the lineup now for the Warriors as they will try the conversion right here. Long snap count, the pitch, and now they'll look to throw back to the quarterback, and they will get the conversion. Great play from Hegwood back to his quarterback, Cromer, and they'll get the 2 points on that one. Now they trail at 12-8. What a great play.
That was a great play, and you get out of that play, they probably sometimes will just keep that motion coming, and all in one motion they can pitch it on the sweep. But St. Michael's, they were calling it out. They were ready for it in case it was going to be a sweep and a run all the way. But you throw a little wrinkle in there as the season gets later, and you have that option throwing it to Cromer out of the backfield. Well done.
But now you've got to find a way to get that football back. If I'm the Crusaders and I'm running the football a lot here with only 5:48 remaining and try to chew up as much clock as I possibly can with a 4-point lead. So first down. Anthony Schmehill along with Adams in the backfield. Waiting for the go-ahead here from the officials. So here we go. Championship game of the CYO AAA. Snap will go to Adams. Adams cuts back up the middle and really turns something that might have been maybe a 1 or 2 yard gain and gets 4 out of it.
He's been doing that all game though too. Just if he has to, stays patient, waits behind his blockers, and then finds that burst of energy to move forward.
So 2nd down and 6, football at the 44-yard line. Max and Matt Schmehill split to the far side. So the Crusaders will keep it empty on the left side, hash mark left. Schmayhill will take the snap himself, put his head down, and he's going to get driven back. Might get a yard out of it to the 45, so it's going to be 3rd and 5.
Trying to see who comes out of the bottom of that pile for St. Barnabas. Carson Keller did a nice job of just holding his block with his lineman, but also keeping his eyes forward and locating the football. He had an arm free. He was able to keep it off of the offensive lineman and reach out there and limit the runner to just 1 yard.
Warriors hoping to get the football back, so a big 3rd down here for the Crusaders. Schmayhill in the backfield with Adams once again. This time the 2 receivers, Max and Matt Schmayhill, will be to the near side. And we've got a whistle and a flag, and it looks like that might be a delay of game against the Crusaders. I know on the field they don't run, or are they running the play clock on the field?
I haven't seen the play clock running on the.
It's on over here, but if it were on the left side of it, that'd be hard to see because the sun is really blocking the view of that one. I think the officials are keeping it themselves on the field. But now it's 3rd and 10 instead of 3rd and 5. Tanner Sparks now in the backfield, 4 receivers. They're going to move Adams out to one of the receiver spots on the right side. Schmayhill to throw. Ball's going to be caught. Adams 45, and he's going to get a 1st down. What a great play there for the Crusaders, and a strike to Adams, and he did the rest.
Well, they're going to Adams the whole way, too. You throw him out in the slot. They run a whip route, so he's going to fake like he's running towards the middle of the field, and then he plants his foot, does a little 180, and then runs right down the line, and it's a perfectly thrown ball because it's catch for Adams, and he's still in stride. He doesn't have to slow down or come back for the football, so he's still going full speed ahead, and he's able to pick up a new set of downs.
Sinovic gets the tackle there for the Warriors. Clock is going to be very critical. That's a big 1st down for the Crusaders. Snap to Adams. Adams trying to his left, wants to cut back, but he's going to lose 2 to 3 yards on that one. There was just nothing there. Good swarming defense for the Warriors.
Swarming indeed. Everybody flowing to the football. Gain tackled on Adams. That's what you're going to have to do because even though he's a much smaller back, it is going to take more than just the first guy there to him to try and take him down.
So now you're looking at just over 3 minutes, and now at the 3-minute mark right here, and you want to save as many timeouts as you possibly can, but you're still only at 2nd down.
And for St. Barnabas, you don't have to use your timeouts quite yet. They may opt to take one if it gets to 3rd down here.
They'll pitch it. And not a whole lot there to about the 49-yard line. Looked like that was number 21. It was Tavian Fox. And now the Warriors will get the timeout with 2:36 remaining. They trail at 12-8.
Burtner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment, whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
Well, Roncalli High School is the site of our 2 championship games here today, and the Crusaders trying to wrap it up here with only 2:36 remaining, and this is another big 3rd down. They had a 3rd down conversion moments ago when they found Dan Adams. Well, they're going to try it again right here. Either way, they're probably going to hold on to the football and We got a flag. Nope, it's going to be a timeout this time. The Crusaders are going to talk about it. They saw the formation and they said, let's talk about it further. 12-8 your score.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Boy, great crowd here today to see the two championship games, and after back-to-back timeouts, the Warriors and then the Crusaders, we're ready to go on again, a huge third down. Looks like to me Tanner Sparks is going to stay in the backfield. That means Adams is on the right side in the slot. He's been very, very productive in both the run and the receiving side of things. Schmehill steps up the pocket, airs it out down the middle of the field, and it's incomplete. It was intended for Tavian Fox. Now Fox actually had a step on his man, but unfortunately the pass was a little too long.
Yeah, it was long, and Schmehill threw it up the field. If he throws it more kind of down the line, Fox was running kind of a post route, kind of at an angle. He had a step, no doubt about it. There could have been a potential there for another score to really seal the deal.
Well, now the Crusaders will punt the football away. Now the good news is if they do punt it here, they've got the wind at their back, because they can get a lot of distance on this one, but the lineup looks like Schmehill and Adams in the backfield. Well, they can punt it from here. Adams takes a quick look, and then he's going to fake it and run it himself. He's at the 45 and gets the first down and more. What a run for Dan Adams on the fake punt, and that might have sealed it right there.
It almost makes you think you don't want to necessarily bring those guys off the edge like that if you're St. Barnabas, because Adams is a guy who can do just what he did. He sees the pressure, he sees the guys flying in off the edge, and he's just a man that you have to be able to contain, and Barnabas did not do that right there. Adams turns on the Jets again. I didn't think he was going to get the first down.
Me neither.
But sure enough, he got about 4 or 5 extra yards after the first down.
Yeah, all the way they said he stepped out of bounds at the 34-yard line. So a great call there for the Crusaders, as they are now on the verge of winning a championship here today. Direct snap to Adams, the cut back to the right. Another big run and another first down, as he'll get about 10 out of that one.
I've never seen a running back of his size. Now, granted, of course, these are 8th graders, but a running back of his size able to bounce off of guys the way that he does and the speed that you add on to it. I mean, that is just such a dangerous tool to have in your backfield.
And just think, somebody's going to get him for 4 years. Not sure which school he would end up going to. Nonetheless, I'd like him to come to mind. Football down to the 23, and the clock under the 2-minute mark.
Now, no need to rush at all. You have 4 plays left here to wind down the rest of this minute 40.
Schmehill and Adams again. They've been in tandem in the backfield. There is a flag. We've got a delay of game, but for the Crusaders, they don't mind. Yes, it does stop the clock, but they're going to run as much of that clock as they can once they come out of that huddle. By the way, if you're a Colts fan, it's been a long afternoon, 26-3 now. It was just a pick 6. I think it's not hurting your fantasy team because you probably don't have any Colts on your team.
No, God forbid.
That's going to be a Loss of yardage there for Adams.
I'll take Adams on my fantasy team today over anybody on the Colts currently.
And trade him in. We've got a timeout. 12-8 your score.
I'm Keith Myers, Vice President of IndianaSRN. Thanks for joining us. Do you know IndianaSRN broadcasts 350 games a year? All sorts of sports? Yeah, we do. Hard to believe, isn't it? IndianaSRN loves to put student athletes first on our website. If you're a business out there, we probably could help you too. Contact us at coach@indianasrn.org. Grandma from out of state thanks you. Mom and Dad who can't get to the game thanks you as well. In fact, our athletes watch the games over and over again. Our military has enjoyed the games as well. So sit back and enjoy the game. It's IndianaSRN.
We're back here at Roncalli High School. We're down to the final minute 26 of this one. It's second down and long. But we have seen Adams come through today where second and long doesn't mean a whole lot. Adams going to get the call again, able to break a tackle there and make something positive out of a negative. And we're going to get another timeout by the Warriors. We'll go ahead and keep it here for this timeout. Championship game, second championship game of the day. We want to thank all the people that are involved with the CYO for having us here this afternoon. We did basketball last year, and get a chance to maybe do football and basketball this year. That'd be big. But now if you're the Warriors, you're looking at third down and long to get the football back, and then you got to find a way to get the points on the board and do it very quickly. And if I'm the Crusaders, I'm probably thinking to myself that, do you have to write something?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Just got to remind myself about.
Okay.
And now the timeout, we have third down and long.
So now third and long. But again, if we get a chance to do basketball again this year, it was a packed house when we did last year's championship games. There was not a seat to be had in the place. So now, third down. They'll use both downs right here for sure. Schmayhill again out of the shotgun. Fakes the handoff to Adams, will throw. Ball's going to be caught down to the 20. It's going to be shy of a first down. It almost appeared that time that Fox kind of lost his footing. But the important thing is, if you're the Crusaders, you want this clock to keep ticking.
Surprised that they put the ball through the air. Now, it is a really well-designed play, and if you run it perfectly with Fox running in stride, you may have a first down. You may have even more. But it does keep the clock running. Everyone's out of timeouts, Barnabas at least.
Yeah, they got to hurry here. They don't want a delay of game. At least try to get the play off, even if they give up the football, as they'll direct snap to Adams again, looking over the right side. If flag is down, of course, that's going to stop the clock at 28 seconds. This is going to go against the Crusaders, and it's going to be declined, though, so the football will go directly to the Warriors. Looked like it was a block in the back penalty. So now we're going to get one more shot at it right here. I'm going to borrow that for just a second, then I'll give it back to you, okay? You want to write your note on that one?
No.
You want to write it twice?
I got it. I'm all good now.
You going to take that popcorn home with you? Well, now we got another.
It was very good, by the way. It was just like Coach said.
St. Michael's, the Crusaders are going to get a timeout again, so they want to make sure that defensively they're lined up correctly. We saw this in our AA championship game earlier today, where you put your safeties and your defensive backs all the way back as far as you can. Keep everything in front of you. So they've got to go 81 yards in order to, or actually I should say, 81. Is that my counting right? Oh, it's the 19. Thank you.
That's correct.
See, that Wyoming math did me good. So they've got to go 81 yards for the score. And again, they're into the wind.
Is math in Wyoming the same as math in Indiana?
Yeah, it's about 20 years behind. Yeah. So here we go. 28 seconds on the clock. Cromer will have Lawson in the backfield. 1st and 10 as they'll look to throw. Cromer in the air. It's up for grabs and it's going to be intercepted. And that's going to do it right there. Coming with the interception, Clint Contrell able to jump up and grab that one. And that's going to seal it here today for the Crusaders.
I think Comer would have been better off throwing it to the route that ended up going more down the sideline. It kind of ran a little bit of a weaving pattern. Outside receiver ended up being Maurer, who came across the middle of the field. Maurer had made a couple of plays just like that, using his size to his advantage, but that time Contrell, right place, right time to cap this one off for St. Michael's.
So that's going to do it. The championship game 1 in the AAA, 12-8, and certainly want to thank some folks as we leave the air.
Yeah, Bruce Cyphers, the director of the CYO, thanks so much for having us. And also, if you want to donate to the CYO, check out their website. They have a donate button. Just search CYO Indy, and you'll be able to locate their website. Tremendous football this afternoon. 7th and 8th grade football in the CYO. We were treated well. A defensive stronghold in the first game, and a little similar action here, a little bit more scoring and a lot of faster paced play in game number 2. Adams was probably the MVP for St. Michael's and of this game, helping the Crusaders get the victory.
St. Michael's wins it by a final of 12-8. Thanks to the entire crew here at IndianaSRN. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time right here on IndianaSRN.